Indianapolis Raceway Park. This Hoosier half mile doesn't care what your name is. It's beaten some of the biggest names in the business. Tonight, the stars of the American Speed Association will wage war on this Midwestern monster. Will one of the young lions finally whet his victory lane appetite? Or will it be a cagey veteran who claims the crown in the city of speed? It's an absolutely gorgeous summer evening here in central Indiana. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Speedway Starvin Marvin ASA 200. The weather conditions here are perfect for 200 laps of racing here on the half mile, 83 degrees. Probably going to cool off into the upper 60s. Should be just perfect for racing. Hi, everyone. Ralph Sheen and Jim Trado with you, as always, here with the AC-Delco Challenge Series. We've had 3 races so far in 1996 and 3 different winners. What do you think, Jim? See a 4th different winner here tonight?
Mike Eddy started the season with a victory. He had 3 in a row to start off 95. Scott Hansen and Gary St. Amant have both found victory lane thus far this season.
As we said, we have had 3 different races, but they were quite a while back, so we thought we'd take a moment here at the beginning of the show to reintroduce you to the top 10 drivers as we come in to IRP. The current points leader is Gary St. Amant in the number 7 Wins Ford Thunderbird. 1 win and 1 pole, but he's completed 100% of the laps so far today. He's thinking championship.
Second in the points is Joe Knott. He tasted the point lead momentarily, but now he's settled into second. 3 top 5 finishes this season.
The 7-time champion, Mike Eddy, sits in 3rd in the Goodwrench Max Pontiac. He's got 1 win at the season opener, 1 pole, and he won championship number 8.
After Lakeland, Scott Hansen was 14th in points. After a victory at Toledo Speedway, he's now sitting 4th. He's looking for another win tonight.
Number 5 in the point standings is the sneaker, Bob Sedeker. His best finish so far in 96 was a 5th at Toledo, but you can never count this former champion out.
Brad Loney brings the Bun Saver Pontiac here, hungry for a victory. His best finish 2nd at Lakeland, determined to score a win real soon. It could be tonight here at IRP.
3 races in, and rookie Jack Landis finds himself 7th in the points. His best finish is 6th at Lakeland. He's on the verge of his first win.
1994 ASA Rookie of the Year, Dave Sensiba, 3rd place at Toledo, backed up by a 4th place finish at Columbus. He's 8th in the 96 points.
Another rookie in the field is Kevin Sawinski. The reigning ARTCO champ is 9th in the 96 points. He's looking to add the ASA title to his resume.
Illinois veteran Tom Jones back on track with a 10th place at Lakeland, tied for 9th in points.
There are 2 young rookies in the 1996 tour who qualified just a hair better than our current points leader, Gary St. Amant. There is a 3rd member of our broadcasting crew here as well. His name is Dave Burns, and he's standing by with that story.
Well, Ralph, Jack Landis has had an unbelievable 1996 season, his first ever. He is 7th in the points. He has 2 top 10 finishes, and this Noah Yoder Ford team has won in the past. Look for Jack to go to the front early in this one. Kevin Sawinski and the Coleman Racing Products team have done extremely well as well. They are 9th in the points, and are currently, Kevin is looking for his first victory, of course. He's a former ARTCO champion. Gary St. Amant is leading the points this time, and it's not the first time Gary's been on the point, but Gary, is it about time in 1996 for the St. Amant family to come home with a championship?
Well, you know, the big thing about winning the championship is you got to be consistent, and you know, here at IRP, you know, we know we have to be there at the end of the race. Kind of a tough chore to do, but you know, hey, we're going to be there at lap 200, and hopefully the Winsport City Ford Thunderbird will be out front.
Well, guys, this is only the 4th of 20 events in 1996. St. Amant hopes he's still on top when the checkered flag falls in November.
Thank you, Dave. Now, Gary St. Amant, as you've heard, is chasing the championship. One other driver who would love to have that championship is Scott Hansen. He's come real close in the past. Of course, Mike Eddy is looking for his 8th championship and wants it desperately this year. They're both starting on the front row with Mike Eddy having the pole. Do you give the edge to Mike since he's on the inside groove? That outside groove
I give the edge
the way to be.
I give the edge to Scott Hansen. He was extremely fast in practice all day. Mike Eddy worked at getting fast this afternoon, but the outside line will be consistently faster around this IRP Oval. The line line is right up against the fence, Ralph, so it'll be anybody's ball game. Go to Hanson on the start.
Yeah, it is a pretty wide racetrack here, but amazingly, that outside groove really is the way to go. But before we can go racing and in search of the outside groove, we got to get the motors up and running. Here's Dave Burns to do that for us. Dave?
Well, Steve Kidd is with Emerald Marketing Company, and Steve, you're going to get things going here tonight at IRP. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The motors have come to life here at IRP, and they're about set to roll off and get some heat in the tires. Stay with us. We're going green when we come back to IRP.
Just how long does a car battery last? About this much time is put into most batteries. But AC-Delco puts in more time, so our batteries last over 20% longer. Well, now there's a Delco Freedom 84, our longest-lasting battery ever. We put in 7 years of guaranteed starts, making it the granddaddy of all batteries.
Hey, my watch.
Wynn's Extend Supreme Plus is a patented oil supplement especially formulated for today's high-tech engines. Extend helps increase oil life, combats engine wear, and reduces oil oxidation. So next time and every time you have your oil changed, ask for Extend, the supplement that will not void manufacturer's warranties and comes with its own 100,000-mile warranty. Extend Supreme Plus, a Wynn Oil Company product since 1939. Available at your quality service facility, including Firestone, Goodyear, and Grease Monkeys.
Very bad dog. Bad, bad dog. Very bad dog. Oh, dear.
Now at Pep Boys, get a $5 rebate on all Rayvesta's Pro Stop lifetime brakes. Car, truck, import, or domestic. That's $5 back on Rayvesta's lifetime brakes. You'll never have to buy brakes again. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think?
Original and cooling blue.
By Menon.
The 1996 AC-Delco Challenge Series presents the Speedway Starvin Marvin ASA 200, brought to you by Wynn. Remember, when it wins, it works. And by GM Goodrich Service. We want your business. Welcome back, everybody, to Indianapolis Raceway Park. This half mile is about set to take 36 ASA cars at speed for 200 laps. And here's a look at the grid for this Speedway ASA 200. On the front row, there's those two veterans we talked about. The 7-time champ Mike Eddy on the inside, and on the outside, Scott Hansen, still looking for that first win this year. Well, actually, a second win.
Dave Sensible trying to stay in the top 10 in points. Tony Raines looking outside in 11th, but he did have a great qualifying run in his Pontiac. Picked up 3/10 from practice to qualifying.
On row number 3, this is a really interesting row. Tony Roper having one of his best starts of the year, and Jack Landis, that ultra-quick rookie.
In the next row, Kevin Sawinski against second in rookie points coming in, and the current point leader, Gary St. Amant, in the wins forward.
Row number 5, Brad Loney, who announced this weekend that Bun Saver, we'll get into that a little bit later, will be with him full season long, and Mike Miller, the veteran out of Atlanta.
Row 6 on the inside, Rick Beebe driving the St. Louis gear number 23. He switched rides, and he'll split the season with Mike Garvey. Veteran Bob Seneker, 6 victories here, will start 12th.
Row number 7, the veteran Harold Bear and Brandon Sperling, the brand new Eaglewood backed entry.
Eddie Sharp in his Pontiac outside, Robbie Pyle in his second ASA start, an ARCA Pro 4 modified veteran.
Joe Knott, when will he get a win? Will it be here tonight? Maybe. And Glenn Allen Jr., the current NASCAR Busch Grand National rookie point leader.
Row 10, Bill Baird on the inside and Brett Bell on the outside. These guys have put in quite a few testing laps here. We'll see how they do from the 10th row.
In row number 11, the Zero Hero, Tom Jones, and last year's big-name rookie, Ted Smokestad, in his sophomore season.
In row 12, placed on points, Rick Miller, who led 36 laps here a year ago, and Dennis Latman, the gentle giant out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin.
Row 13 finds Bobby Gill, last year's winner at Minnesota State Fairgrounds, and John Cadman Jr., former road racing winner with the ASA Series.
In row 14, Buddy Schrock, who was fast in practice, but he flat out said, I screwed up in qualifying. He'll start inside of Tracy Schuler.
Row 15, the former place kicker for the San Francisco 49ers and Indianapolis Colts, Mike Kofer, and the racing car dealer from right here in Indianapolis, Race Gilman.
In row 16, local boy Chet Plant of the Hubler Group Chevrolet and Alec Pincino in a Pontiac.
And row 17, the 16-year-old wonder kid, his first ever stock car race, Tyler Walker, discovered by Kenny Schrader and Dennis Berry in the Ford.
Row 18, Carl Muscatton and Billy Turner are provisionals at the rear of the field. Muscatton had a problem in the qualifying race.
And rounding out the field, the racing doctor, Yale Connolly out of West Virginia, puts the Simonton Windows Chevrolet at the tail end of the field. And a look at those that did not qualify for this race. But there is one good thing to say about, not even though he didn't make it, Doug Mayer had a horrendous crash last year at the ASA race at Topeka. Good to see he was so far enough back on the men that he could actually come and try to qualify here tonight at IRP. I know he'll make a field soon.
Bob Dorr switched back to the defensive practice, and Randy Ruhlman had a qualifying race crash. Only 10 cars transferred out of the qualifying event. Brian Kabinski, the Illinois rookie, looking to run 6 races this year to protect his rookie status. Mark Kelhoff in a Pontiac. Road racer Bobby Archer did not make the show. Unfortunately, he was a little bit off. He finished 1 spot out of transferring. Ed Cooper and his Chevrolet had problems in practice. Aaron Huff in a Pontiac, so close had a rear end go while transferring into the field handily. And Carol Adamy and the Dorothy Lynch salad dressing Chevrolet did not qualify as well.
Now this is a half mile here in IRP. It's actually a little bit bigger than a half at 0.6. And you can see the banking in the turns. Pretty interesting.
Gradual banking, but again, we mentioned they run right up close to the fence, so the guys that will be passing going into the turn will have to stay at the bottom in that very low degree banking until they get clean on by, almost a slingshot move as in dirt track racing. But again, the straightaways are banked as well. A very wide 80-foot racetrack, a 60-foot wide pit lane. So if it comes down to the pit strategy, there's plenty of room for these guys to jostle around and make their stops.
And most of the drivers have said that it takes a little while to get acclimated to driving into the turn and staying up at the wall. The natural tendency for any race car driver is to run it down to that bottom groove, hug the white line around the bottom of the apron, and get on the gas as quick as you can. But here, you got to run it up to that wall. As you take a look at the race analysis, 37 cars actually making the start, 200 laps.
Mike Eddy on the pole, just a tick quicker than Scott Hansen. Again, those guys were very fast in practice. 16 Chevrolets, 13 Pontiacs, 8 Blue Ovals make up the starting field in an ultra-competitive event.
It'll be interesting to see if things pay off for the Pontiac drivers. Pontiac rented out the racetrack for a few days to get some testing in for their drivers. A brand new 1996 Pontiac Grand Prix. These drivers really didn't get a chance to take a look at it until after Lakeland.
ASA thought it was important for some of the teams to get some more track time here. They rented the track themselves May 19th. 19 teams showed up.
Dave, one last shot to get a quick thing in here. They turned the lights off of the pace car.
Well, Ralph, Chet Blanton in the Hubler Group Chevrolet did not get started on time when they fired. Things are better. He is on his way. Also, John Cadman had to be push started, and he is on his way as well.
All right, thank you, Dave. Pontiac Firebird Trans Am taking them down the back stretch. You see Mike Eddy and Scott Hansen pacing the field down the back straightaway. And as we come out of turn number 4, the green flag will be waving at the starter stand.
First time the National Network has televised an oval race here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, home to the Winston Finals, Winston Nationals.
U.S. Nationals. Does it get tight down in turn 1, and we got a problem. Big stack up of cars. One car gets up on its side and actually rolls over in the middle.
It appears to be the 79.
That is Mike Koper. Mike Koper in the 79 car. the former place kicker for the San Francisco 49ers and the Indianapolis Colts, debuting a brand new race car here tonight and new sponsorship as well. And Kofer puts the car upside down. Now, Chet Blanton is in the middle of that, the 00.
Ray Skillman also got sideways in that event. He's up against the
car.
wall.
Yep, that is Kofer right there. There's at least 4 or 5 cars down in the middle of all this.
John Cadman got spun around. He's still facing the nose of Chet Blanton's 00 right in front of the ambulance. We see a couple of drivers walking around. Are concerned now with Mike Kofer, who again, hard against the wall, and the car got up and over on its side. That's Bobby Gill in the number 2 car.
There's Bobby's car nosed up underneath the 79 of Kofer. Mike's getting out of the car. Good news there.
3 wide here, keep it out for a black car that gets spun around heading into turn number 1. As they come into the turn here, you see John Cadman on the outside. There's Bobby Gill in the 2. Something's already happened. As you can see, Cadman gets sideways. Gill piles into him, and watch out. Here he comes. Kofer.
Yeah, he just got pinched from both ends is what happened, Jim. He was hard on the brakes, getting it from the front of him, and then he got lifted up from behind, and it just turned the car over.
Buddy Schrock getting by. Wow, look at that. Just got piled in there. Ray Skillman, the driving force. Alec Pinsino stopped as well. Also got by on the outside very, very, very quickly by.
It looks like everybody was able to get out of the car and walk away. In fact, we saw them taking Mike out of the car. I think now they're just trying to figure out how do we peel everything out of here. Well, stay with us. We'll sort it all out. We'll send our Dave Burns over there to get the story from all the drivers when we come back to Indianapolis Raceway Park.
This is the story of the man in black, and the Goodwrench team keeps his car on track. You know their secret's consistency. It's all in the list. And if it takes all night, they'll get it done right. Turn to your GM Goodwrench service team for consistency and attention to detail. Their tools, training, equipment, and genuine GM parts let you run with the winners. To build the perfect ride, use a checklist as your guide. And always keep the customer satisfied.
Bella cosa, la dolce vita, volare la noche caliente en su esplendor suave.
God bless America. 100% cotton, cut for comfort, fruit of the loom. Really, really comfortable underwear.
You like action? Do you crave excitement? Then listen up.
CNN Motorsports and Miller present the Win with the Driver sweepstakes year 2. We're bringing it back for repeat performance. Enter today. You can win a trip for 2 to one of these live Winston Cup races. You'll also get spending money, a complimentary team jacket, a tour of the Miller team's rig and pit, meet Rusty Wallace, and more.
Hey, Cole.
And if Rusty wins the race, you get $5,000. If he finishes, you pocket a cool grand.
You feeling lucky?
To enter, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your entries.
Get your entry in by August 16th, then watch Race Day on CNN August 25th to find out if you're going to the Indiana 500. Remember, if you don't win this time, your entry is eligible for the next drawing.
Enter now.
This sweepstakes is brought to you by Split Fire Spark Plugs and 104 Plus Octane Boost.
We're back to Indianapolis Raceway Park. That is the cleanup going on down in turn number 1. If you're just joining us as we took the green flag, some 5 cars got together down in turn 1, and the car that you're looking the bottom of is the car that belongs to Mike Kofer. Here's a look at those drivers that were involved in the crash. You see Ray Skillman, Chet Blanton, Bobby Gill, John Cadman, and Mike Kofer in that Rumiano Cheese Green Street Station back entry. A brand new car for Mike. First lap under green, and this is what happens to him. Take a look at this.
Into the turn, keep your eye on the black car with the orange numerals, John Cadman. Comes down, gets involved with Bobby Gill. Gill had nowhere to go, gets the front end of his Pontiac ripped off. Then here comes the field. pinched against the wall, and you see Koper got sideways. It almost appeared if he got hit in the right front to send him over as he was spinning sideways.
And another look at it, you'll see Koper's car just gets picked up from behind. Blanton's got him up underneath, and then it looks like the 27 of Skillman got the other corner, and it just basically launched him. You're exactly right. Everybody was able to climb out of the cars. In fact, our Dave Burns has caught up with 3 of them. Dave?
We're forming kind of a task group down here, Ralph, as to what exactly happened. Bobby Gill, Chet Blanton, and also Ray Skillman. Ray, let me start with you. What did it look like from your vantage point?
It looked like the racetrack was totally blocked. I went to the outside, but that didn't do me any good, and I got, bumped around a little bit, and we just ran out of real estate. I have no idea what happened.
Now, Ray's an Indianapolis businessman. Sorry to be out this early. Chet also is from the Indianapolis area. Chet, how did it look from your side?
The track was blocked, and Hubler Chevrolet just didn't have no place to go. Next time I knew, the car was upside down on top of my car. I don't know what happened up front, so the way it goes.
Bobby, you're only with us a few times in 96. You're trying to make every shot count. Just a victim of circumstances, it looked like.
Yeah, it was the JB Dresses Pontiac was running pretty good. We had to run a heat race today, and the car's running good, but the boy in the 71, I don't know why he come down on us there in a hurry. I mean, the fastest groove around here, the outside, I don't know what he was trying to get down on the bottom there, and he just caused a big foul up right there.
Well, a bit of a clue as to what happened out there. You all saw it at home, and Ralph, I don't know, maybe you guys can decide exactly what the outcome was.
The outcome was a big mess. What caused the outcome is too much packed up in there. Now take a look at the reaction of these 2 drivers. The driver in the black is Bobby Gill. The driver in the white is John Cadman, and it looks like they had differing viewpoints on it.
Obviously telling each other which groove they were about to run into the turn, exchanging pleasantries. But as Gill said, he thought maybe Cadman came down, but it's so tight into turn number 1 on the opening lap here. You're lucky if you can get a pass on in turn 1, 50 laps into the event. Starting too wide, looked like they might have just came together.
And there is Cadman right there, hoping maybe to get his car restarted. I think maybe at least 2 of those cars might be able to go again. I don't know if they were torn up too badly. Let's check in with Dave Burns again.
Well, Ralph, I can't tell if John is just waiting for a wrecker. He's now pointing. He wants the hook, but he wants it on the rear as if to say, pull me out of here and get me back in it. He's still got his helmet on. Guys, I think John Cadman is still ready to go racing.
I think you're right, Dave. And, if it's just some suspension parts in the front, those are usually fairly quick to be fixed. And when a 200-lap race, especially with a lot of laps under yellow here at the beginning, if he can get that car into the pit area, get that thing fixed, come back out, get some very, very valuable AC-Delco Challenge Series points. Well, the cleanup continues over in turn 1. When we come back, we'll fill you in on more from turn 1. Stay with us.
It's over here in a jar. It's over there in the car, in a drawer, on the floor. So where's your loose change? Well, it's time to cash in with Easy Money, the amazing coin machine that sorts, stacks, counts, and loads coin wrappers in just seconds. Just turn it on, then drop in a handful of loose change and watch. The wheel spins and separates each coin. Then they're launched down the tube where they're sorted. Each coin drops into its own removable tube where it's stacked and counted. And when you place a coin wrapper in the bank, it's automatically filled with the correct amount of coins. When it's done, they pop out in their neat stacks. You're left with wrapped piles of money. And with the handy AC adapter jack, you'll never need to buy batteries again. So what are you waiting for? It's Easy Money, and it's only $19.95. It'll pay for itself the very first time you fill it up. Easy Money. It makes perfect sense.
Order Easy Money today at 1-800-404-9889. It makes perfect sense. Call 1-800-404-9889.
It is an absolutely beautiful night for racing here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Fans enjoying not only the grandstands, but the hillsides down here in turn number 1. And if that's where you were sitting, you would have had a great view of the 5-car crash that opened this event up. We are currently under lap number 6, all of those having been under yellow.
Again, that accident happened in the opening lap as they all piled into turn 1, and literally piling into the John Cadman car was Bobby Gill in this number 2 Pontiac.
Bobby Gill getting a win last year at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. There's that brand new Rumiano Green Street Station backed entry of Mike Kofer. The 79 in tribute to his good friend and fellow teammate on the San Francisco 49ers, Harris Barton, the offensive lineman, Pro Bowler.
He may have been knocked on his head after kicking a few extra points, but I don't think he's ever been over in a stock car.
Yeah, that's got to be an interesting perspective for anybody. It looked, thank God, at least like it was a slow rollover, like it didn't do a whole lot to him. Now, this is a surprise. Joe Knott makes his way down pit road, and it looks like they're going to jack up the right or left side of the car.
He started back in 17th. He was a quick qualifier a year ago, starting 11th, but again, he started 17th. He was as far back as 22nd under this caution, so he lost some position on the racetrack. Perhaps he thought maybe a tire was going down.
Well, obviously, it's not a strategy move like topping off for fuel or anything like that, and it doesn't look like they're even checking with the tires. They're looking underneath. Now, you get a good look here at the brand new nose on the Ford Thunderbird. There's a look at Pinsino. And there's one more look at that nose on that Ford Thunderbird. It's a brand new 1996 and 7 spec nose for the Ford Thunderbirds, and Joey Knott, one of the first ones to debut it here at the ASA Series. Well, we're going to take one more quick break. We'll come back to IRP right after this.
Kyle Petty closing in on Morgan rather quickly.
Oh, we've got to spin the 42 car Kyle Petty.
Kyle is badly damaged in turn
3. Man, this is one tough toolbox. The name says it all. If it's not better built, it's not.
Oh, no, it's back. Prescription Strength Desonex knows how bad athlete's foot can get. Knows about the burning, the itching, the cracking.
It can feel like a soldering iron between your toes.
Now is the time to hit it with strong medicine.
Before it gets really bad.
Prescription Strength Desonex has the same medicine that doctors prescribe again and again, because nothing you can buy works better to cure athlete's foot. Nothing. Prescription Strength Desonex, because prescription strength is strong medicine.
Coming up on the next NHRA Today, the quickest drag racer in history. Don't see his run from Columbus. And pro biker Reggie Showers talks about the childhood injuries that could have ended it all. NHRA Today, Sunday at 11 on TNN Motorsports.
In June, only on Stars. It started as a routine space flight.
We are go for launch.
Until
The Apollo 13 astronauts may be in grave danger.
it became this nation's greatest struggle. Tom Hanks.
Houston, we have a problem.
Kevin Bacon. Apollo 13. Only on Stars in June. Stars, a better movie channel.
For this particular quilt, the theme is where love resides.
Joined by love. Inspired by life.
It's your wedding quilt, honey.
3 generations of women weave a wonderful story on pay-per-view.
Why can't we love as many people as we want?
What's your name? Winona Ryder. Ellen Burstyn.
If you had to choose between marrying a lover or marrying a friend, who would you choose?
How to make an American quilt. Choose great entertainment on pay-per-view.
1974 was the first time the American Speed Association visited the half mile here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Last year making a return after some 6 years away from this fine facility. Mike Eddy, the winner there last year, and starting on the pole here again in 1996. There's Scott Hansen, who beat Mike back to the flag to take the lead of this race. They have completed 9 laps, actually working lap number 10 now, most of those under yellow. Now, Mike Cofer did climb out of the car, and he is standing by with Dave Burns.
Well, we're pretty sure that Mike took a few hard hits in the NFL. This is the first time he's taken a pretty good whack here in ASA. Are you okay, first of all, Mike?
Yeah, I'm okay. I felt a little bit more like the ball than a player there. I guess I got knocked right through the goalpost on that one. You know, it's just so hard because you put so much work in during the week, and especially this week because we changed teams and the whole deal. And the car a week ago was Illumina, you know, and now it's a Grand Prix, and now I don't know what it is right now. That's the most frustrating part. I mean, you know you're going to get back out and get to race again sometime, but it's like all that work you did all during the week, staying up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning, not even going to bed at night. You know, it's washed out in the first turn of the first lap of the race, you know, and just got to be a little bit more patient, I guess.
You know, Mike's sentiments are a story told over and over again in auto racing. They love it. They keep doing it.
Thanks, Dave. Mike Cover, the only driver I know that goes to the racetrack and signs a football trading card as opposed to a driver's picture card.
Yeah, the American Speed Association at select events, they allow the fans on the racetrack right before the race starts. There's an hour-long autograph session this afternoon. A lot of fans lined up to get Mike Coper's autograph. Some people are a little hesitant to get Tyler Walker's autograph, but he did sign whatever was put in front of him. The 16-year-old making his debut here in ASA racing, the sprint car driver out of California, runs some SCRA racing. He ran a sprint car race here 1 week ago to get some track time. He's leased a car from Jared Gunderman and the Scott Hansen Racing team for this event.
Looks like we're about set to get back up to speed here, but before they throw the green, we want to show you one more look at this real time, this crash down in turn 1.
Starts right there. Captain goes around 4 or 5 cars deep. And it was over that quickly for Mike Coper.
As you take a look at the tail end of the field, you'll notice at least one of the cars is trying to get himself back out on the racetrack. I believe that's Chet Blanton right behind Joe Knott. Yeah, sure is.
They run a lot of open wheel races here. Chet's making a compromise. He's got half the body on.
Pace cars pulled off, so we're about set to go back to racing here at the Speedway 200. This time, everybody negotiates turn 1 smoothly. You just saw Joe Knott trying to make up some lost ground. Hansen, Mike Eddy, Tony Raines, Dave Sensiba, Jack Landis, your top 5.
As they zoom by start-finish, 115 miles per hour on this front straightaway. A little bigger than a half mile here at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Tony Roper runs back in 6th, and it's Gary St. Amant, Mike Miller, Kevin Sawinski, Bob Seneker, Brad Loney, Brandon Sperling, Harold Fair, and Rick Beebe.
Here comes Joe Knott and Yale Conley. Again, Conley started 37th. Joe Knott did make a pit stop after starting 17th. They're quickly making their way by 4 cars now down the front chute.
Joe is really hustling that Ravy Ford, the Valvoline backed entry, through the back half of this field. He's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to be a contender here tonight. Goes to work on Carl Viscontin now.
Was running very strong in the qualifying race, had a problem on the back straight and had to use the provisional to get in. Joe Knott, however, makes quick work of him. Now we see the 56 of Brett Bell as we go back to Joe Knott, heating up the butter knife, coming through the field.
Back up front with your leaders, Hansen and Eddy, both winners on the tour so far this year. Mike getting the season opener down in Lakeland, Florida, all the way back in February. And Scott Hansen picking up the most recent checkered flag of the tour at Toledo Speedway in the beginning of May.
They've quickly pulled out to a 2.1 second lead on Tony Raines in the Baker Enterprises Clean Burn Pontiac. So they're not even in view right now, 3rd place on back.
Both drivers told me before the race that passing on the lower groove is virtually impossible here. It is a very, very difficult thing to do. So it's going to be interesting to see if Mike can make that happen. He's pushing him pretty hard, and he's going to get him. Look at that.
Off of turn number 2, Mike Eddy pitches it down, turns left, and the GM Goodrich Pontiac assumes the lead on lap 19 here at the Speedway 200.
That's a move that is supposed to be virtually impossible to do, and Mike Eddy did it with ease. A very strong showing out of the Howe chassis in that Pontiac power plant.
Right here, you can see him pulling off the corner. He gets on the gas extremely fast. They coast into the corner. It's feathering the gas pedal. Mike Eddy, the master of that. into turn number 3, already on the gas pedal, the AC spark plug. As you can see, the wide sweeping turns here at IRP. These cars really carry the speed in the AC-Delco Challenge Series.
Jack Landis in that silver number 07 with Roper right behind him and 10th just in front of him. Then it is the 7 car of Gary St. Amant and the 18 of Mike Miller. That's your battle for 7th place. St. Amant, the current point leader. Mike Miller definitely falls into the cagey veteran category of the ASA field. Out of Atlanta, that's Kevin Sawinski, the black and yellow number 1 right behind them. And Bob Seneker, the Bluebird, car number 84, the Ford Thunderbird behind Sawinski, and then Brad Loney out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Again, a good look at how wide this racetrack is, and Gary St. Amant using that outside line. Mike Miller in the car, Cop Pontiac, has to lay back for a moment. But I think he might have learned something from the Team USA handball team on battering around and yet staying consistent again. Mike Miller with a sponsorship of USA Team Handball on his race car.
And the yellow comes out as we've got 1 car in the wall over in turn number 3.
Tyler Walker, for the 3rd time, has spun around today. Again, he spun a couple times in practice. Now we see he puts the all-white Ford team car of Scott Hansen up in turn number 3. Found the left side.
And Yale Connolly has big problems. There's something, looks like the right front tire dragging on the number 3 Simonton Windows entry. So the Doc making his way around the racetrack after starting dead last tonight. Kind of an unusual, poor qualifying effort for Dr. Connolly. Yeah, that right front tire has definitely got a problem. That qualifies as a problem, all right. They will have to try to lift the car and get the jack up underneath and see if they can get that changed, and hopefully they didn't do a whole lot of damage to the bottom side of the race car as he drove it around the track.
You see crewmen in black, crewmen in maroon. There are 2 teams here with Simonton Windows as the sponsorship. Glenn Allen Jr. running a Conley Racing Chevrolet in 6 events this season in ASA. A team car to Dr. Yo Conley. Just changed the right front and he's away.
Well, they took the right rear as well, and when you're over there, you're going to change 1 tire on that side, might as well get them both. You can change 2 tires under a yellow, but only 2. And we'll take a break while Dr. Conley goes back out on the racetrack to heat up those new right side tires. We'll step out for a moment. We'll come right back to IRP.
The hum of the saw, the wail of the drill, the rhythm of the plane. If you love the music of woodworking, then listen to what you get in this free TV offer. Introducing 101 Shop Tips for Woodworkers. It's filled with time-saving secrets from the pros, like a jig for routing evenly spaced dados, the trick to straightening out uneven edges, how to keep lacquers and thinners from splashing when closing the cans. You'll discover clever shop-made jigs and tips that'll save you years in shop time. It's all in one handy resource, and you get it. Stop the music. Free. It's yours free when you order Cabinet Making, the first volume in the Art of Woodworking, for only $9.99. Packed with hundreds of full-color photos and illustrations, Cabinet Making shows you how to master every cabinetry skill and get picture-perfect results. At a glance, you'll learn the secrets of frame and panel assembly, rock-solid joinery, adding decorative touches like molding. You can preview future volumes with absolutely no commitment to buy. Call now, and for less than $10, you'll get Cabinet Making, plus your free copy of 101 Shop Tips for Woodworkers. And there's more. Use your credit card and get this bonus video, Shop Secrets from Master Craftsman, free. This exclusive video gives you a wealth of expert advice and trade secrets from 4 master woodworkers. So call now to order Cabinet Making for just $9.99 and get 101 Shop Tips free. Use your credit card and get your free Shop Secrets video. If you love the sound of woodworking, then getting all this for less than $10 is music to your ears. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-579-4848. Ask for Cabinet Making for just $9.99 plus $4.25 shipping and handling, and receive your free 101 Shop Tips. To get your free Shop Secrets video, have your credit card ready. That's 1-800-579-4848. Call now.
The green flag has just come out here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, and we have restarted the Speedway ASA 200, 28 laps down. Mike Eddy still leads Scott Hansen. As they come back after turn number 4, that's Tyler Walker just in front of him. Struggling to get a handle on his first ever time in stock car racing. Sespo works the backside of Roper. That's the number 4 going after the car number 10. And Jack Landis in that silver Noah Yoder Ford, the 07, goes after Tony Raines. That's the battle for third. And they'll go around the outside of Tyler Walker.
On the restart, Jack Landis looked to the inside of Tony Raines. We'll see after the tires get a little heated up who is going to be the man with a little more power, as these Goodyears have worn very, very well. Talking to some of the crew chiefs before the event, it was a very warm afternoon here during the practice. It was high noon. They weren't too concerned about tire wear, but we'll see who babies those tires, who feathers that gas pedal a bit better. This battle again heats up. Tony Raines, the Kleinberg Pontiac, the Maisto Ford of rookie Jack Landis, 7th in ASA points coming into this event, the 4th event of the AC-Delco Challenge Series for 1996.
Landis has 2 starts on the season. No top 5s, but he's been in the top 10 in both of those. Let's go down to Dave, who's standing with Tom Jones's car.
Ralph, they think Tom Jones has dropped a drive shaft. You can see they've got a new one out. They're getting ready to try to install that. That's going to be a long install, but Jones knows this is a 200-lap race. He's going to try to get back out there for the Felpro people.
There's that drive shaft right there getting set to be stuffed up underneath the Zero Hero. Now, Tom Jones is a huge Chicago Bulls fan, and he's got a big Bulls Champions 96 paint scheme on the hood of the car, and then when the Bulls did not clinch last night, Tom this morning added the word Sunday.
Bulls, champs, Sunday.
Yeah, on the hood. Not just yet, Tom.
Glenn Allen Jr. has now joined Tom Jones on pit lane. Also, Tyler Walker is slowing on the backstretch.
I have really been impressed with this young driver, Jack Landis, as the current points leader in the 1996 NASCAR Push Grand National Tour. Glenn Allen Jr. makes a pit stop. His father just to the left of your screen, taking a look along with some of the crew to see what's wrong. Now, if you live in Arlington Heights, Ohio, if you try to call your police tonight, you got a problem. None of them are there because Glenn Allen Sr. is the mayor of Arlington Heights, and he invited the entire police department out here tonight to watch his son compete at IRP. Dave, what's the story on Little Glenn?
Well, Ralph, they're reporting no fuel pressure right now in the Simonson windows number 99. They're going under the hood trying to correct that problem. Again, no fuel pressure for Glenn Allen Jr.
Jack Landis continues to work the backside of Tony Raines. That Howie Ledow prepared car number 87, the Kleinberg Pontiac of Tony Raines, probably one of the best prepared cars in the field.
Tony Raines wants to give his crew chief, one of the best in the biz, a birthday present. Howie's birthday is today. 40 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just suppose he told you how old.
Nope. Great battle for third. You can see just behind them is about a 6 or 7 car trade.
Boy, Landis is really working him. He is putting the pressure on big. And it's awfully early in the race, 38 laps down, and Landis is really putting the pressure on.
Now he goes to the inside up at turn number 4, testing Tony Raines, making him use up those tires, making him check the mirrors, not run his own race, but run the race to stay ahead of Landis.
Turn 2 is where they say you can actually make the best pass. You got to get a good run down into turn number 1 and make the move coming off of turn number 2, which is exactly what Mike Eddy did to Scott Hansen. And these new Goodyear tires are a little bit softer compound than what they've run in the past on the AC-Delco Challenge Series Tour. And nobody really knows what the tires are going to do on each particular racetrack. And look at Landis. He set him up beautifully. Can he make it stick? Drag race down the backstretch here at IRP. Maybe the horsepower advantage to Raines. Yep. Wow, he took a shot at him, worked him, set it up. Just did not have the muscle to get him down the straightaway.
Landis made that attempt, did not work, but now he sees in the mirror the child star Chevrolet of Tony Roper. He was third quick in practice. Roper has found the groove on this racetrack. He is now battling in the 5th position. So if, again, Landis goes low again and it doesn't hold, that upper groove may be filled by that black Chevy.
You can see that pack from 3rd on back all the way back through 10th, which was what you were looking at there with Zawinski and Bob Seneker, has all stuck together. Our 2 leaders have really separated themselves from the rest of the train that follows. There's Mike Eddy. He's about to get into some heavy lapping of traffic with 43 laps complete. Well, Glenn Allen Jr. Still in pit road, and Dave Burns has caught up with him.
Well, Glenn's out a little sooner than he wanted to be tonight. Glenn, I understand there's a fuel pressure problem. How many different ways can you chase that to try to get back into this thing?
Well, we're going to look and see what the problem is. Somehow we ended up with 0 fuel pressure, and the motor just started messing on us. Still look at the pickup and look at some things, but unfortunate thing for the time with the Windus Chevrolet. Their car was really good. It just, I don't know what happened. The car was awful good. We had a flat qualifying, so we started way back, but overall we're going to be okay.
Well, Glenn's only with us a couple of times in 1996. He hopes to be back again soon.
So Mike Eddy now works Harold Fair. Harold in the new CarQuest backed entry. And look at that battle between Landis and Raines continue. Boy, Jack Landis just does not give up.
Relentless. 3 syllables describing that battle. Landis likes the high banks. Noe Yoder had a driver by the name of Todd Forge in this car, also very good and quick on the high banks. Trying to make it work here. Again, it's only 8 degrees banking, but extremely fast through the turns. Very wide sweeping racetrack. Billy Turner out of Oklahoma, the Sooner Speed Santa Fe. Chevrolet's off the pace.
Raines' car doesn't hold as well when he gets it over to turn number 2. Looks like the rear end wants to dance out a little bit on him. And here comes Landis again. And give Landis credit for not sliding up into Tony Raines as well. Those 2 are running extremely hard. Raines has been in this series for quite a few years, has won on this series, knows what it takes to drive these cars, but Landis is just a rookie. And to have that much control over the car, those close quarters of racing on a very difficult racetrack, he's going to be a good driver in the years to come.
Not the first time these drivers squared off. They raced the... And Landis is up.
Now he's got a problem. Maybe he overextended the car. He might have driven it too hard. Jack Landis brings the Meso Noah Yoder Ford Thunderbird down pit road. Boy, that is a shame. It'll be interesting to find out if he overextended the motor or...
He's continuing around the racetrack, so he may be sorting out an ignition problem. There's 2 ignition boxes on these cars. They can switch between them if it needs something shut down on that silver, red, and blue Ford. No, looks like it's coming to the pits now. Trailing smoke at this time.
Down in the back of the motor. Wow, what a shame. Back out front, however, no problems for the GM Goodwrench Service Pontiac. The black number 88, the Polar Bear, Mike Eddy. And look at Tony Raines closing in on, oh, that's actually Conley. I thought that was the white 87 back there for a minute. There's Landis in the pits. Dave's down there. Dave?
Ralphie came in without power. He reported to his pit crew that the motor was shaking. They don't know what the problem is, but they've shut it down. They're going underneath.
So the Meso Ford, done for now. Jack Landis put on a tremendous fight, but up front it's been all the black 88 of Mike Eddy. Stay with us. T&M Motorsports coming back to IRP right after this.
AC-Delco knows that as a car gets older, its engine runs rougher. So we developed a spark plug to help bring back new car feel when things really gelled. Rapid Fire from AC-Delco. It makes an engine idle up to 27% smoother. and accelerate with up to 18% quicker throttle response. Rapid Fire. Its performance ought to have the competition shaken.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think?
Original and cooling blue.
By men. To make this beauty look its best, I use Armor All Protectant on the vinyl and rubber. And for the paint, now there's Armor Plate Paint Protection. It shines, protects, and really makes those colors pop. New Armor Plate. It's like Armor All for your paint.
Nobody knows more about homes than Century 21 Home Improvement. Hi there, I'm Carrie Whitaker, and a few days ago, this was a tired old kitchen. Hard to believe, but thanks to a process called cabinet refacing, Century 21 Home Improvements has made it beautiful again for substantially less than custom kitchen remodeling. This video explains everything, and it's free. Why waste it? Reface it. Refacing begins by removing your old cabinet doors and drawer fronts. The finish is taken off, and the original framework covered with matching laminate. Then, new cabinet doors and drawer fronts are installed in your choice of style and finish. They can also custom-build cabinets, countertops, even center islands.
And along with your video, you'll receive a voucher, good for no payments and no interest until January 1997. So call today.
Want to see more? Well, call for the free video, and you'll see how Home Improvements can create the kitchen you want at a price you can afford.
Think about it. We depend on our vehicles, yet most people know surprisingly little about car care. Well, get ready for Road Ready, the show that'll help you ensure your vehicle gets the kind of care and attention it needs. Join Mike Anson and Tricia Hessinger to see just how easy it is to tackle routine maintenance and small repairs. And be confident the job's done right. So get ready. Road Ready. Tomorrow, 12:30 p.m., 11:30 Central on TNN Motorsports.
Well, welcome back to Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Speedway ASA 200. Scott Hansen has just beat everybody out of pit lane. He'll go back onto the track, but Ralph, I understand that's not the whole story. Mr. Eddy stayed out.
That's exactly right, Dave. It was about 50-50 between the big names of who went down pit road and who did not. Mike Eddy stayed out. Tony Raines stayed out. Gary St. Amant. Looks like Joe Knott. Mike Miller stayed out. Eddie Sharp stayed out, who's been having a great night. Joey Knott has really worked his way back up in the thick of things. He should now be basically inside the top 10, I think. Is that not right, Jim?
Joe Knott is in 7th position. Bill Baird is 8th. Brett Bell is 9th. All those drivers stayed on the racetrack. Scott Hansen will realign on lead lap in 10th position after pitting.
Now, there is a reason why we are under the yellow. It was a problem on the front straightaway right after we went away to commercial break with Alec Pinsino, the number 93. You can see he loses it coming off of 4.
Just getting around, again, it's Tony Roper. If there is any luck, Roper has no luck. He got involved there with Pinsino, as Pinsino barely brushed the inside wall. But the Mold Plaz, Pontiac, brand new company, started by Alec Pinsino on the race car for the first time. There's Raines coming around, but you can see it's already happened. I think there was contact there between the two black and blue cars. A little black and blue on the front end of Pinsino from an earlier incident. As he now squares it up, he continued on after that.
Yeah, there's Joe Knott out on the racetrack, but there's a story developing there, Dave.
Yeah, Joe Knott, the first time he came in, gentlemen, that was a transmission problem. They have a new transmission they're trying out in that Allen Knott Ravy Ford. He could not get the clutch pedal all the way to the floor. Therefore, he could not move the car in and out of gear. They took out a stop that had been placed on his clutch pedal. That freed him up, but they had to turn the motor off to do that, pull the thing out, and then he had freedom of the clutch pedal. He was able to grab all gears, and when he got that all done, he rejoined the field and continues to move up, as you guys have been watching.
And he has put that brand new Ford Thunderbird nose into 7th place out on the racetrack right now. We also want to tell you that Billy Turner out of El Reno, Oklahoma, in the Santa Fe Central Fiber Chevrolet is plot the number 58 back behind pit wall. They're working on that. And car number 5, that is a machine driven by Dennis Berry, one of the rookie contenders, the Meyer Foods Red Baron Ford. is up on jacks. They've got the left side up. They're working on that. He's been fighting a loose problem all day today, and finally I think it's gotten the better of him a little bit.
They changed the transmission right before the race, so that might have come back and bit him. They may be checking a leak or something worse.
There's Eddie Sharp, who's having a great night, working his way up inside the top 10. He is sitting in 8th, it looks like, right about now as we go back to green on lap 62. Sharp actually in 5th. So Eddie having a great night in car number 50.
Mike Eddy is the leader. Yale Conley is a lap car. Tony Raines has scored in 2nd in that white Pontiac with the red striping on the bottom. Off the turn number 4 in the restart. Conley now will dip down. Raines set sail. Again, these drivers did not pit on lap 55 with the remaining, just about everybody on lead lap, with the exception of 9 cars, came in to pit under caution.
There's the current points leader, the Wynn's Ford Thunderbird, car number 7, the orange and black machine of Gary St. Amant. And Mike Miller, red and white, car number 18 right behind him. And there's the black with yellow of Eddie Sharp, sitting right behind them, waiting for an opportunity. Kind of a tough night for Eddie Sharp here tonight. His grandfather passing away just 2 days or so ago. Eddie had to rush back to the home of the Sharp family back in Florida before coming up here to go racing at IRP with a heavy heart. He sent all of our sympathies on to Eddie Sharp Sr. and the entire Sharp family. Eddie continues on the way his grandfather would like him to here, racing in IRP and doing a great job of it. And this is a team that is really bonding together now. Brandon Sperling has left to join the Eaglewood team, and Brandon's former crew chief has joined up with Eddie Sharp's team. Eddie is based out of Concord, North Carolina, and Brandon was running his operation out of there when they moved all of Brandon's stuff up to the Grand Rapids, Michigan area to join Randy Ellen's Eaglewood team up there with Leroy Troop and the gang. Well, then some of the personnel stayed back in the Charlotte area to work with Eddie Sharp in car number 50. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out for those two teams.
Sharp in 5th, directly out of him, side by side momentarily. It was Gary St. Amant in the 7th, and the Car Cop Pontiac of Mike Miller trying to steal away the 3rd position. Car Cop is a global security system for your automobile, so anywhere in the world they'll find your stolen car via satellite.
Wow, you can see the close quarters racing between Mike Miller and Gary St. Amant as we get set to take a look at the top 24 up in the left corner of your screen as you watch this battle as the yellow comes out here at the starter stand of the
Robbie Pyle in that beautiful maroon and gold Pontiac. Looks like he might have found the fence at the right front. Pyle in the 2nd ASA event out of Columbus, Ohio, the Bob Evans Classic Transport. Pontiac, yep, definite damage there in the right front.
Kind of a classic paint scheme that really looks good when you see it. And you can see the chassis and the body not exactly headed exactly in a straight line. This is a deceptively fast racetrack. When you look at the cars going around in circles, you're not exactly getting a true feeling for the speed of these cars. We said down the front straightaway here, we're seeing speeds in excess of about 115 miles an hour or so. Going down into the turns, it's carrying a lot of momentum. If you lose it like Robbie Pyle did, you can do a lot of damage to one of these AC-Delco Challenge Series cars. So the Bob Evans pack number 62 makes his way down pit road. Mike Eddy does the same thing. Now Gary St. Amant does so. Scott Hansen returns. You can be sure he'll take on 2 more tires. He'll probably get left sides this time. Joe Knott is in. Sensipa is in. Tony Roper is in. Amazingly, some others still stay out, though. In fact, Eddie Sharp has stayed out, as has Tony Raines. So that moves Raines to the lead. Sharp now runs 2nd. Bill Baird is 3rd. Kevin Sawinski is 4th. Brad Loney is 5th. And Bob Seneca right behind them.
Seneca is in 6th. He came down pit lane on the lap 55 caution, so he leads Dennis Lambert and Rick Beebe as the cars with pressure rubber that stayed out on this turn down pit lane for the leaders.
And Hansen, 4 fresh tires, set to go racing. See if he can work his way up. So pit strategy comes into play. Hansen, 4 fresh ones. Tony Raines, still the visit. Pit road. Stay with us. We're coming back to IRP.
Where does Napa keep over 200,000 different parts? Right up here.
Now remember, your belt tension on this is critical. What kind of car is it? Well, I'll sell you all the struts you want, but I wouldn't recommend putting them in without the right tools. I'm sure we have it. Okay, is it a 77 or a 78? Because they changed the carburetor in 78. Actually, that's not a stupid question at all. I know what it used to be. You don't stay at Napa long handing out the wrong answers, and I'm not planning on going anywhere.
America running.
That's right, that's exactly right. How am I supposed to explain that to the client?
We have no time.
This is Jeff.
Hi, it's me.
Hi, what's up?
How's work?
It's busy, very busy. What's up?
Well, do you want to meet me at home for lunch?
No, that's, I can't do that right now. I'm in the middle of something and I can't get away. So it's a big meeting.
Uh-huh. Have you looked in your briefcase yet?
You're killing me.
I left you something this morning.
I'll be home in 10 minutes.
For summertime stock car racing here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Bringing it all to you on TNN Motorsports. And we have had a yellow situation as Robbie Pyle brings out the yellow in car 62. Some of the teams taking advantage of the yellow, some of them not. Are you surprised that Howie Leno has not brought Tony Raines in? 71 laps up on the board, and we have not seen him pit for new tires yet.
It's a 200-lap race. I talked to his tire specialist Freddie. He said we might be able to make it on one stop.
Pit strategy playing out as we go back to green. One car slowing to the inside.
Tracy Schuler misfired in qualifying. They thought they had the problem solved in the Appleton rack and pinion 61.
Guess not.
Nope.
Schuler will pull down to the bottom side of the racetrack while racing continues up front. Tony Raines is your leader. The second place car there, car number 3, is actually a lap down. Take a look back to Eddie Sharp having a tremendous run. And Mike Eddy has a big problem, and so does Scott Hansen. And Tony Roper is in the middle of this, and so is Rick Miller. Boy, does this shake things up. Mike Eddy with huge damage to the right front of the GM Goodrich service machine. There's Mike out of the car. Now, Mike is suffering from some injured ribs. And he told me tonight, going into this race, this is the first time in weeks when he has really felt good. So if he took another heavy shot, he might have re-injured those ribs. But he does not look happy.
Tony Roper, the 10 car, was stuck behind. You see there's some black marks on the front straight here at IRP.
Oh, and Mike Eddy waved at Mike Miller. And he's holding his side where his ribs were hurting him. The Polar Bear makes his way back to the pit area. The 7th-time champ is hurting here tonight at IRP. Stay with us. The action continues on a wild Saturday night in the summertime in Indiana.
Don't worry about me.
Now you can own all of Marty Robbins' greatest hits in one complete collection.
My woman, my wife, devil woman.
The Country Music Hall of Fame proudly presents the legendary Marty Robbins. 25 of Marty Robbins' greatest hits. Over 1 full hour of music for just $9.99. Then audition other legendary country singers' albums. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So call now to order the greatest hits of Marty Robbins.
To order Marty Robbins, call 1-800-923-3300 or send $9.99 plus $3 shipping and handling to Marty Robbins, Department 1, Richmond, Virginia, 23280.
Coming up next week on TNN Country News, we'll ship out to Alan Jackson's floating concert. Plus, Clay Walker speaks out about his battle with MS.
TNN Country News, weeknights.
For this particular quilt, the theme is where love resides.
Joined by love, inspired by life.
It's your wedding quilt, honey.
3 generations of women weave a wonderful story on pay-per-view.
I can't love as many people as you want.
What's your name?
Winona Ryder, Ellen Burstyn.
If you had to choose between marrying a lover or marrying a friend, who would you choose?
How to make an American quilt. Choose great entertainment on pay-per-view.
4, 3,
3, 2. Blast off with 2 great channels in June. Stars and Encore. Stars, big movies and more. And Encore, hit movies of the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Well said.
Stars and Encore, 2 great movie channels.
Welcome back to the Speedway ASA 200 at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Ralph Shaheen, Jim Trado, and Dave Burns roaming down on pit road.
A lot of work down there. A lot of teams as Mike Eddy's car has been pulled behind the wall now. Big puddle of oil left behind.
Let's take a look at the replay, starting with the speed shot.
Let's see Mike Eddy up close here.
There he is. He's already hit the wall.
Hansen spins behind, as does Roper. Along the inside wall goes Pinsino. Some problems developing up at turn 4.
Flag stand now. Mike already into the wall. See Gary St. Amant dives to the bottom. You see Hansen having problems, and Rick Miller in the 31, and Roper in the 10. There's Hansen in the pits getting work on the right side of the car. Roper has been in and out of the pits. Mike Eddy's car is back behind the wall. Barry's car is still on pit road.
Get a report that there might have been oil on the racetrack. We saw Tracy Schuler slow on the surface, but we didn't see any streaks of oil. But you can see that this racetrack has been sealed in portions and rosin applied in different areas to make it a 2-group racetrack. So it's a little difficult to tell if there was fluid down in the racetrack from our vantage point.
I don't think there was any fluids on the track before the incident. There's a ton of it out there now. There's Mike Miller, and when Mike Eddy climbed out of the car, he purposely waited next to the car for Mike Miller and a couple of other cars to come by, and Mike pointed the thing in the fact that I know you had a hand in this. Unfortunately, from what we've been able to see, nothing really definitive as far as deciding who is at fault. Let's check in with Dave Burns, who can add more story regarding Scott Hansen.
Well, Ralph, earlier they were chasing a bit of a problem. Lynn Miller, Scott Hansen's crew chief, told me that they had a blistered tire here last year. That's why they came in so early the first time. Now, Lynn, this time when Scott came in, did you find damage from the spin out there? Does he have any problems?
No, we were checking. He felt the vibration after we changed the right side. So he came around and did the left because it didn't seem to go away. And then we went back and checked to make sure that he didn't have a cracked right front rotor. He thought the rotor was cracking. But everything looks all right. We'll just kind of see how she goes from here. Car was good in the beginning. We'll see if we can get it back.
Do you have any other idea what that vibration might be that Scott's hearing?
No, it's coming from something in the front. I mean, we checked the sway bar and tie rod ends and everything we can in the front. Doesn't feel any, we can't see anything, so I hope it doesn't fall apart on us.
Well, Ralph, that's the story from the Scott Hansen pit. Meanwhile, in the Mike Eddy pit, Mike was understandably upset after the incident that happened on the track. And let me just put it this way. He did not want to talk with us right now.
Okay. Well, hang in there, Dave. I'm sure Mike will feel a little bit more like chatting after he can get those ribs stop hurting. Well, we're going to step out while they clean up the grease sweep here at IRP.
This is the story of the man in black, and the Goodwrench team keeps his car on track. You know their secret's consistency. It's all in the list. And if it takes all night, they'll get it done right. Turn to your GM Goodwrench service team for consistency and attention to detail. Their tools, training, equipment, and genuine GM parts let you run with the winners. To build the perfect ride, use a checklist as your guide. And always keep the customer satisfied.
You and I have a lot in common. We're a lot alike. We're the same, you and me. I look at you, I see myself.
Pay too much for auto supplies and you'll feel like one too.
Pep Boys has great prices. Son of a Gun Protectant, $4.99. Touchless One-Step Car Wax, $6.99. And California Magic Duster, $8.99. 26,000 items at the guaranteed low price. Tires and service, too. Pep Boys. Everything but gas.
What's your biggest problem with vacuum cleaners?
I don't like buying filter bags.
I don't think I ever came home with the proper bag.
Every time I had to empty the bag, there was always stuff would come out.
Throw those bags away forever. Introducing the Phantom Fury Vacuum with patented dual cyclone action. Non-stop power devours dirt and deposits it into a clear bin. It's easy to empty.
It's incredible how fast and how powerful the Phantom vacuum really is.
The Phantom Fury comes with a HEPA filter on its exhaust.
The HEPA filter is one of the most efficient filters you can use to control dust.
The Phantom Fury is two machines in one, upright and cleaning one.
Push a button and you can just hit the high places, the low places, places where you can't reach, and it saves you time.
Call now for a free video and brochure. The Phantom Fury vacuum cleans up a storm, and you'll never change a bag again. Call now.
You don't have to have that.
Don't just go to the race. Listen in. Experience it live with a complete scanner package from Racing Electronics. Hear race strategy.
Okay, those are stickers on there, Jeff.
Crucial pit stops.
All right, we can win this thing, guys.
All the key moments. Just ask DW.
If you ever go to one of these races, you ought to get you a scanner and just listen to the conversation. It is constant.
Get your scanner where the pros get theirs. For your free catalog, call Racing Electronics, 1-800-272-7111.
They have run, this was actually the 16th time the American Speed Association has brought their stock cars to IRP. Mike Eddy was the only driver in tonight's field to have started in all 16 events. Unfortunately, he won't finish tonight the way he would like to. But Mike right now could use the guys at Shade Tree Mechanic to get that GM machine back out into the field. Immediately following our broadcast, make sure you stay tuned for the best of Shade Tree Mechanic. That'll be coming up right after the conclusion of our race here tonight at IRP. That is Dennis Berry's car that they continue to work on. Let's take a look at the rundown of the top 24. You see Tony Raines and Eddie Sharp, who started 15th tonight, running up inside the top three with Bill Baird right behind him. Those two all looking for their first wins. Sawinski and Loney. Buddy Schrock having a good run, sitting back in ninth. Joe Knott has been out of it, in it, out of it, and back in it again.
Don't ever count him out, though. Brett Bell running 13th, and nearby Pittsburgh is where he holds his shop now. Sensiva settled into 14th, and Muscatine up from the final rows up to 18th.
The current point leader sits back in 16th as we get set to go back to green flag with Tony Raines leading up to the line. In the book, we go back to green as the field thunders down the backstretch here at IRP.
Brandon Sperling has floated the Ultra Custom Wheels Eaglewood Pontiac. He's been passed by no less than 10 cars. He's now outside of turn number 3. And Hansen threads the needle. Wow, that was close in turn 3.
So while things happen on the backstretch, racing continues up here with the leaders. Raines continues to fend off the challenges of those two right there. Eddie Sharp in the 50, Bill Baird in the 26. And Howie Ledow is the man who spins the wrenches on the 87 of Tony Raines. What's his strategy like, Dave?
Well, let's ask him. Howie, Tony's been leading about 17 laps now. How long are you going to leave him out before he pits? And do you need to? Did he say anything to you?
Well, he said the car's really pretty good. We've been changing our line, trying different lines out there, and one line seems to be a little faster than the other one, so we're going to be pitting here next yellow.
Okay, that's a story from Howie Ledow. His boy leads. Meanwhile, Dennis Berry, in a pit very near here, has rejoined the fray. In a qualifying race earlier today, he tagged the wall and he cracked the Panhard bar. It then broke during the Speedway 200. He is now out of the pits, back to rejoin the field.
Take you back now to the battle for 7th between Dennis Lampman in the 9 and Rick Beebe in car number 23. This is Beebe's first night in that car. Beebe, of course, the Pat Shower Rookie of the Year last year. Now, Rick has kind of jumped around a little bit between rides in this series.
This is his 5th ASA team. He started in 1993 in hopes of winning the Pat Shire Memorial Rookie of the Year, but again, he did claim the title with John Freeman, the car owner, a season ago. He's now jumped from the Eaglewood construction team over to the St. Louis Gear Chevrolet based out of Keokuk, Iowa. He'll split driving chores with Mike Garvey. BB scheduled to run 10 events in that yellow 23.
And Dennis Landman took all of last year off. A regular behind the wheel of a Ford Thunderbird for years on this tour. This year sporting the new Chevy bodywork.
Recalling a year ago, Dennis Landman was running in the top 10. He and Joe Knott tangled on a restart, but he had made the very high line work, and now I see Landman using that Richard Petty line off of turns 3 and 4 here, way up near the wall. Landman has 11 Dixiana Hard Charge Awards since 1991. That award goes to the driver who advances the most from the starting position to the finishing position. So you could say, quite substantially, Dennis Landman's not the greatest qualifier, but when it comes to racing, Gentle Giant knows how to get to the front.
And Buddy Schrock runs right behind them.
Buddy Schrock in the Auto Value Chevrolet.
He's picked up a bunch of sponsors lately, Unitel and Auto Value, as you said, and a handful of others. So behind the wall, you see Mike Eddy, Jack Landis, Glenn Allen Jr., Smokestack, Gillen, Coper, all calling it a quit so far. Unidial.
These last 6 cars.
The sponsor that is with Buddy Schrock.
Those last 6 cars behind the wall all got in a turn 1 tangle in the opening circuit. If you just joined us, Scott Hansen took the lead on the outset, but it was only 15 laps or so later when Mike Eddy took command. After some pit stops, Mike Eddy found the fence in turn number 4 with some help.
This is a battle for 5th going on with Brad Loney in the 33 and the 84 of Bob Seneker, and the Bluebird tries to get to the inside in car number 84. Seneker, a former champion of the series.
Seneker has 12 top 5 finishes in 14 races here. Unbelievable statistic for Bob Seneker. Again, they raced here for 10 consecutive seasons, sometimes twice a year during the 1980s. Came back last season. Mike Eddy claimed this race his 3rd straight victory. He wound up with 3 wins in 1995, 2nd in the championship to Brian Refner. Excuse me, 4th after the final event. He was 2nd going into the final circuit.
Whoa, Loney has problems hanging onto it coming out of turn 4. Keeps it together.
Brad Loney had a strong run at Toledo Motor Speedway. He was leading the race, came in the pits, and dropped the drive shaft. He ended up 26th on the day. Another great run for the Bun Saber Flex Steel Pontiac. Holding off the sneaker, Bob Seneker, the Lane Automotive, JR Automation Technologies Ford.
In a few weeks, the ASA Tour and TNN will be making the trip up to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, for another great Saturday night of racing up there, and that is the home turf of Brad Loney. And that place will be absolutely rocking in support of this young driver. And Bob Seneker was able to sneak a victory out from underneath Brad last year at the fairgrounds in Cedar Rapids.
Should be a great race July 6th, Saturday afternoon in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The first of 2 visits for the AC-Delco Challenge Series to the Iowas.
Boy, Seneker got a good run out of that time. Everybody, of course, trying that same move over in turn number 2.
Off of turn number 4 now, reaching speeds of over 115 miles per hour down this long straightaway. Guys don't do a lot. They don't use a lot of brake. They say to stay fast, you have to stay smooth on the gas, use the brake, but never get off completely off the gas pedal. Feather it back on and down the backstretch. And here comes Bob Seneker down the inside of Brad Loney.
Looks like the Ford's going to get him, maybe. The Pontiac of Loney did a lot of testing here. And he apparently found some things because he is able to fend off the advances of Bob Seneker. And Lampman is caught up into that mix as well. Lampman has gotten around Buddy Schrock. Let's check in now with Dave Burns, who's with the 7-time champ.
Well, Ralph, Mike has had a chance to collect his thoughts here, and Mike, you're holding your ribs there a little bit. I understand you took a bit of a shot on some ribs that already had some trouble.
Yeah, well, I broke these ribs here a couple months ago, and I shot into the wall, kind of hurt them again.
How about the car, Mike? How badly is it torn up? And I know you've got another one ready for next week, but how bad was that hurt?
Well, this is not good. It looks like it's pretty well used up. You know, it's a dirty shame to Jim Goodrich. Pontiac was running awful good. It's just, you know, some of the things some of the guys pull some of the time are pretty shaky.
And how would that look from your vantage point? What did you see?
Well, I couldn't see much. I know what happened. If you don't, then I don't need to tell you.
Okay, Ralph, we've seen the replay a couple of times. We'll let you make your own determination.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to see what happened, so I guess we're never going to know. Mike will be credited with 26. And here's the battle for third heating up between Kevin Sawinski, Brad Loney, Bill Baird, who is actually holding on to third in the 26, just in front of the number 1 of Sawinski, having his best run in the ASA series. So we take a look at the mid-race recap. 3 leaders, 2 changes, 17 cars in the original 37 still on the lead lap. We've had 5 cautions for 40 laps. We started this one off right away with caution as Mike Coper was one of 5 cars involved in turn 1. He actually got upside down. Back up front, Tony Raines continues to hold off the advances of the black and yellow number 50 of Hard Charging Eddie Sharp here at race number 4 at IRP.
If you have one of these, or one of these, or even one of these, then you own the engine to the most powerful, most useful tool ever invented. Introducing the Roto 7 Power Disc. A disc so strong it can cut through this hardened steel file. It can even power through this brick. Roto 7 zips through copper pipe in no time and even cuts through masonry with ease. The tempered carbide disc cuts right through this iron chain and shears off any nail in its path. Roto 7 not only breezes through ceramic tiles, but even makes rounded corners quickly and easily. And look, put the power disc on your circular saw, and you can cut smoothly through Formica. Roto 7 won't ever bind or kick back, and it won't chip your work. It always leaves a clean, smooth edge. Cutting PVC with a hacksaw can take forever, but the power disc zips right through it in seconds. Yet cutting is just the beginning. Your Roto 7 will sharpen your hand tools, sharpen your garden tools, and even sharpen your lawnmower blade. Install it on a bench grinder and you can grind just about anything. All your work comes out clean and burr-free. The Power Disc is the best disc you can get. It'll never break or shatter. You get not 1, but 2 Power Discs for only $19.95. But wait, order now and we'll also include this Roto 7 sanding disc. You won't find a better sander anywhere. And look how easily it strips away old paint. Ordinary sanding discs keep clogging up, but Roto 7's open mesh construction keeps it running smoothly, cleanly, clog-free. You get both Power Discs, plus the sanding disc, all for only $19.95. So order your Roto 7 Power Discs now.
Call toll-free 1-800-909-1800. That's 1-800-909-1800. Or send check or money order for $19.95 plus shipping to Roto 7 Power Disc, 2 Morgan Avenue, Norwalk, Connecticut. For fastest delivery, use your credit card and call 1-800-909-1800 now.
Watch TNN's Big Country, and you could be a big winner in the TNN Big Country Sweepstakes. Win a 1996 Dodge Caravan and an all-expense-paid trip to the Fruit of the Loom All-Star Country Fest 96 in Atlanta. Watch TNN weeknights from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern for the Big Country Clue. Include the clue with your name, age, address, phone number on a postcard, and send it to It's a Big Country Sweepstakes, TNN Station, P.O. Box 3567, Southbury, Connecticut. Win big in the TNN Big Country Sweepstakes.
We're back, and the question is, how long will the Goodyear Eagles last underneath the cars of Tony Raines and Eddie Sharp as they continue to battle it out for the lead here on lap 114 of a scheduled 200 at Indianapolis Raceway Park? And there is the black and yellow number 50 of Eddie Sharp. Now, Eddie has run as high as second in an ASA race before, but he's always had something spin him out of a chance to grab victory at the last minute. maybe tonight Eddie will have an opportunity to squelch that. And to add to the drama of this story, Eddie is running out of funds. A lot of these guys are non-sponsored by big-name corporations. Tony Raines is happily sponsored by the folks at Cleanburn. But Eddie Sharp, AC in the wallet, run dry. He's really suffered some terrible luck at the beginning of the season, and he could get a win here tonight. He could go race at his track in front of his entire family, which is from Missouri, at the next race at I-70.
June 29th, under the lights. Come out and join us for AC-Delco Challenge Series action.
So Dave Burns with a little more on the Eddie Sharp. Oh, problems for Eddie Sharp. Like I said, unbelievable the terrible luck that Eddie Sharp has had. Just as he goes sailing into turn 3, it looks like the right front tire blew, and he went into the wall. Did he push him too far, Dave?
Yeah, Ralph, I think so. They were, I talked to crew chief Doug Blevins, and he was ready for a yellow. They were both, everybody behind it appeared was going to follow Tony Raines in at the next opportunity. You can expect to see leader Tony Raines come in. Eddie Sharp appears to be just a couple laps short on that. I was right down here in turn number 4. I did hear the pop, and as you saw, he went straight into the turn 4 wall.
Well, it is a guessing game. It is a black art trying to figure out what those black donuts are going to do. Eddie Sharp, who is running such a beautiful race here tonight. They had tremendous pit strategy, Jim, and staying out over those first couple of yellows really put him in contention here tonight, and they just waited a hair too long.
Some of the contenders came in the pits. Mike Eddy and Scott Hansen both found the racetrack on the front stretch. Mike Eddy found the wall. Scott Hansen spun to avoid, but they were dwelling back in the pack after getting fresh tires on. About half of the lead lap cars came in about lap 70 or so, and now we see Eddie getting pushed back. The right rear is also way out of alignment on that Pontiac, and here comes Tony Raines down pit lane.
Well, it benefits Tony Raines. He played the guessing game perfectly. The yellow came out right when he needed it, but just 2 stalls down, it goes absolutely in the other direction for Eddie Sharp. Dave?
Ralph, they're going to the right side on Tony Raines' car. 2 right side tires. Tony is down and away. A very quick pit stop for the Cleanburn Pontiac team. And those 2 Goodyear Eagles come off and don't look too bad. It appears that the wear was good on Tony Raines' Pontiac. But as we've already noted, right behind him, Eddie Sharp's Pontiac, a few laps too short.
Dave Sensiba in the West Michigan Chevy dealers now pulling away. He had a bad air gun. The right front air gun died on him.
Let's take a look at the crash with Eddie Sharp again, number 50. There he is, the black and yellow car. The back into the screen, you're going to see the shower of sparks right come out as that right front lets go. That's the rim rubbing on the racetrack, and at that point, all you can say is, boy, this one's going to hurt. Boom, into the wall you go. And one more look at it.
Into the turn, looks like he's fairly square here as he starts to turn in the apex. The sparks show that the tire obviously down on the rim at that point, as you just mentioned, Ralph. And luckily, the groove is a little bit higher here. Eddie could have had a more severe angle to the wall and created more damage.
That's about the only thing that worked in Eddie's favor, luck-wise, here tonight. And the shower sparks sliding past the speed shot. So, unfortunately, a promising evening comes to a frustrating close for one of ASA's most promising young Chargers, Eddie Sharp. Stay with us. We're coming back.
So you're building that deck with Time Life to help you along. You might want to add some built-in benches. Page 50.
And a problem in turn number 1 as Alec Pinstino gets sideways and will bring out the yellow in the hands of Roger Slack. So the Canadian driver having troubles negotiating the first turn.
While we have a minute, his crew chief, Terry Robinson's not with the team this weekend. He's going through some tough times and is watching at home. We obviously want to say, come on back to the racetrack soon, and the boys at AP Performance Team miss you here at the racetrack and wish you back. Hopefully we'll see you at Berlin.
What a great run it was early on for Eddie Sharp, but that was a problem for him right there, Dave.
Well, Ralph, we've got the tire here that came off of Eddie's car, and it's still quite warm, but you can see here where the sidewall blew out on the tire. Eddie, obviously, you had no warning about this happening.
No, the car was perfect. I mean, we were just riding. Yale was doing a good job in front of us, and we were just riding, and we were going to do what Tony did, and just can't get any luck. We're giving it, everything we got. And we don't know if we're going to be able to run all the races this year. We desperately need a sponsor and some help, and we just want to do good every time. And we've got the stuff. We got the team. We got the cars. We got the motors. Just need a little luck.
Now, Eddie, how did you guys come here and run so well tonight? I mean, this is only the second time you've been here.
Homework. Just spent a lot of time on shocks. Probably the main thing is I lost my grandfather this weekend, and he's up there sitting in the big chair. And that was the key. He was riding with me, man. And I owe it to them.
Ralph?
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot we can say to that, Dave. Inspirational evening for Eddie Sharp. Unfortunately, it didn't end in victory lane. We'll come back to IRP right after this.
The performance edge comes from a century of horsepower delivered by Holley Performance Products. High performance for the next 100 years will still mean Holley, because wherever winners race, Holley's under the hood. Put Holley Performance under yours right now with Holley Systemax Performance Engine System, Holley VoluMax electric fuel pumps, HP Pro Series carburetors, and Holley's exciting digital projection fuel injection system. Remember, you want horsepower, you want Holley.
It's a great time to be silver because you're over 50 and you haven't lost your edge. Now there's a Centrum made just for you. Centrum Silver for your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver. It's a great time to be silver.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think?
Original and cooling blue.
By Menon.
James Taylor on the next The Road, TNN, Wednesday.
Make me a believer in you.
Hi, we're Shenandoah. Watch CMT. That's Country Music Television. That's where you'll find us. Country, it's videos, it's music.
Coffee bubble can dance. I can too.
Check it out now. We mean it. It's a great place to watch country music. Country is as country does. That's what Mama told us.
Jordan Cooper, not an enemy in the world. Until now.
Peekaboo. What are you, insane?
And suddenly, he's the target of a cyberspace hitman.
Giant bureaucratic mistakes and some computer glitches. What did he look like?
There's something terribly wrong here.
Come out and fight like a man.
You gotta help me.
Tim Madison, Dean Stockwell, Twilight Man, a Stars Pictures original production, coming in June to Stars.
The green flag is just waved here at IRP, and we're about to see a couple of black flags handed out. It was a pretty ragged start at the very back end of the field. Kevin Sawinski leads them with 73 of the scheduled 200 to go. And right behind him it is Rick Beebe, Brad Loney, Buddy Schrock, Brett Bell having an absolutely fabulous evening in car number 56. You think Eddie Sharp's had bad luck tonight? You should see the career of Brett Bell in this series when it comes to bad luck. He's had the franchise on it. That is your top five. Gary St. Amant battles with Bell for that position back in sixth, and there's Sawinski, who's trying to improve on that second place finish in Columbus. Rick Beebe, the brand new number 23. For him, Mike Garvey's been giving that car good runs all year long.
Coming off a sixth place finish with this equipment at Toledo Speedway, at Columbus Motor Speedway. So Garvey and Beebe will split the seat time. There might be a two-car team come I-70. It's Beebe's home track.
And we're going to hold here and see Scott Hansen so we can figure out exactly where he is running. There's Schrock in the 35 battling with Loney. That's third and fourth. Hansen running with Joe Knott in the 48, Bill Baird in the 26, and just in front of him is the 84 of Bob Seneker, who is currently running in 8th position.
Hansen Hansen up to 9th. Again, he's got fresh tires on that Wisconsin Aviation Chevrolet, fresher than some of the competitors in the field. 2 quick cautions, only 2 tire change under caution, but indeed it's worked to the advantage of Scott Hansen at this point in the race.
Harold Fair in the white 81, and he's down 1 lap. And then it's Brett Bell in the 56, who sits in 6th position now. He has lost the spot to Gary St. Amant. And there goes Seneker past the lap car, or attempting to get past the lap car of Harold Fair. Hansen trying to stick right with him. Now, Hansen's got fairly new 4 fresh tires. Tony Raines has probably got the freshest new tires all the way around.
Mike Miller loves to take advantage of those quick cautions. There's a caution on a restart. It is...
Oh, Bill Barrett gets sideways. He's about to lose it, and he backs it into the wall. So that'll bring out another yellow. And the Kentucky driver, boy, he was having a good night.
Top 10, about 10th place. Unfortunate for the Saturn Machine Chevrolet. Bill Baird really working this racetrack. They say race IRP, the racetrack, not the other cars. Bill Baird was doing a great job of that tonight.
We established it right at the very beginning of the show. This racetrack does not care who you are. It has bitten some of the biggest names in the business and some of the smallest names as well. We've seen it here tonight. Bill Baird, Eddie Sharp, both bitten by the wall. Mike Eddy, bitten by the wall. A lot of people tasting the concrete here at IRP tonight, and it is really making a big difference in the outcome of this race. Maybe one of these young lions, such as Kevin Sawinski and Rick Beebe, could pit strategy, taking advantage of these yellows that are coming out timely for some of these drivers. Maybe somebody's going to get their first taste of victory lane on the AC-Delco Challenge Series Tour here tonight. Here's a look at the replay of what happened to Bill Baird.
Hansen running in 9th. Right behind him, you see the red car. Then there's Bill Baird. Looks like he may have gotten the gray stuff momentarily.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if he was tapped lightly by the 31 of Rick Miller. I don't really think so. It looks like he just got a little bit loose in there and lost control of it.
What about 11th, I believe, at that point, unfortunately. He'll be making a pit stop. Flat spotted his Goodyear Eagle, so he'll be coming in for 2 fresh ones.
So the Saturn back number 26 makes its way down to pit road. The fans enjoying a beautiful summer night on a Saturday in Indiana.
Win's Extend Supreme Plus is a patented oil supplement especially formulated for today's high-tech engines. Extend helps increase oil life, combats engine wear, and reduces oil oxidation. So next time and every time you have your oil changed, ask for Extend, the supplement that will not void manufacturer's warranties and comes with its own 100,000-mile warranty. Extend Supreme Plus, a Win Oil Company product since 1939. Available at your quality service facility, including Firestone, Goodyear, and Grease Monkeys.
Where does Napa keep over 200,000 different parts? Right up here. Now remember, your belt tension on this is critical. What kind of car is it? Well, I'll sell you all the struts you want, but I wouldn't recommend putting them in without the right tools. I'm sure we have it. Okay, is it a 77 or a 78? Because they changed the carburetor in 78. Actually, that's not a stupid question at all. I know what it used to be. You don't stay at Napa long handing out the wrong answers, and I'm not planning on going anywhere.
America running.
Very bad dog. Bad dog. Very bad dog.
Oh, dear. Nothing makes a car look hotter than shiny wheels. So I use Quicksilver Wheel Cleaner from Armor All. No scrubbing, just spray and rinse to get the brake dust and grime ordinary cleaners can leave behind. So every time you wash your car, use Quicksilver from Armor All.
Thursday, before country was cool and rock was on a roll, they turned the music world upside down.
It fulfilled every wish, dream, everything I'd ever thought of, all in the space of a year.
The life and times of the Everly Brothers, Thursday on TNN.
Flag waves as we come back out of commercial break to the Speedway ASA 200 from IRP. Ralph Shaheen, Jim Trado, and Dave Burns with you here tonight. Kevin Sawinski in the black number 1 with the yellow added, being chased by the second place car, the number 23, Rick Beebe. Brad him in car number 33. The blue machine runs in third. 140 laps will be complete this time by. We've had 3 races so far in 1996 and 3 different winners. Quite possibly a 4th different winner here tonight. And a tip of the hat to Buddy Schrock. Boy, is he giving this new team a great ride here tonight. The Unidial Auto Value backed entry having a tremendous effort here tonight. That team gets stronger and stronger every week.
This is Buddy Schrock's 8th ASA start. He started the races back in the 80s. He and his dad, Vern Schrock, raced many years in ASA. Came back to the American Speed Association this year. He said he bought a brand new car, a brand new engine, didn't have money to get a hauler. He brought it with a U-Haul.
Oh, and problems for Dennis Lampman. Car number 9 has big problems down the backstretch going into turn number 3.
Running 12th was the Gentle Giant at the time of the caution.
There's Roger Slack giving the yellow another workout. And Lampman will unstrap, crawl out of his Chevrolet.
He has been running an extremely fast bunch all night long. When Lampman was running through the field, he was with 4 or 5 cars that made their way to the front. On that last pit stop, he came in along with Tony Raines, 4 laps difference in the yellow flag caution stop, so they both had 4 fresh tires. Lampman running 12th, right behind Raines coming through the pack.
Let's take a look at the replay. There's Dr. Yale Conley. It's going to all kind of begin from there. Is just in front of him. There goes the Giant. Looks like something must have broke.
Had to have.
Dave's got more on Yale Conley, I believe, huh, Dave?
Well, Ralph, Glenn Allen Jr., I asked him, Glenn, are you spotting or are you coaching for Yale Conley? He said both. Now, Glenn Allen Sr., when this all happened, leaned down to me and said, the doc said, I didn't touch him. So Yale Conley just wanted everyone to know that he had nothing to do with Dennis Lampman's spin.
Not a problem, Doc. We saw that one cleanly. He was a good car length or more away from him. The Simonton Windows Chevrolet of Dr. Yale Conley continues to motor on here tonight. He's not having exactly the greatest night. He's
13th position.
13th, well, that...
Got back on lead lap.
Yeah, that's right. He did, didn't he? And there's Dennis Lampman climbing out of...
The way that car veered in the middle of the back straightaway, it's something you would see in the middle of a turn, but Lampman cautiously getting out of the car. He'll take a walk to the ambulance, but...
fairly apparent, I think, at this point why we call him the Gentle Giant.
It's unfortunate for Dennis. He's looking for some sponsors, too.
So the big guy is out of the car as the ASA's race mates watch on from underneath the tower here at IRB.
Kyle Petty closing in on Morgan rather quickly.
We've got to spin the 42-car Kyle Petty.
Kyle is badly damaged in turn
3. Man, this is one tough toolbox. The name says it all. If it's not better built, it's not.
In the big world, there are a few things that hold us together. The things we see, we touch, we feel. Colin Ray understands that some feelings go a little deeper and mean a little more. Colin Ray knows it's those things that make life richer. And that's what I Think About You is all about, featuring the #1 hits Not That Different, One Boy, One Girl, and I Think About You.
So we're really not that different.
I Think About You, wherever music is sold.
Hi, I'm Roy Clark, and I'm here to introduce an incredible new old-time music collection called 101 Smoky Mountain Hymns of Faith. Now, you can enjoy 101 of the most popular hymns of all time, performed on the hammered dulcimer, lap dulcimer, fiddles, mandolins. Well, just listen. Folks, this is a $60 value, but it's yours for an incredible $19.98 during this limited television offer. So get to a phone and call now for 101 Smoky Mountain Hymns of Faith. And here's how to order.
Not available in stores, so credit card orders call 1-800-FAITH-25 or send $19.98 for cassettes, $24.98 for CDs, plus $4.50 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Call 1-800-FAITH-25. That's 1-800-FAITH-25.
God bless.
If you're a big country music fan, you want to know who's hot. It's easy when you know where to turn. Country Music Television's Top 12 Countdown is your chance to see who's on top of the charts and who's coming on strong. Turn on to the Top 12 Countdown, Fridays at 10. Turn on to country. Turn on to genuine CMT. Country Music Television.
And Bob Seneca is off the pace in car 84. The former champ, the Bluebird, struggling down the backstretch. He was running in 8th place when something let go in the 4th.
Staying on the racetrack, so again, questioning whether he's got serious motor problems. As you saw another competitor do that earlier in the race before pulling in. He's off the pace there. Jack Landis did the very same maneuver before pulling it behind the wall, so we'll see indeed if that Ford stays together.
It's a sick motor is what we're being told. Sounds like maybe he's down a cylinder or has a misfire of some sort. Coming into this race, by the way, in the Manufacturers' Cup standings, Ford had a 2-point lead over Pontiac. Chevrolet sits in 3rd with 4, and Oldsmobile has not scored a point yet this year, although there are a couple of competitors who run that body style on the tour. Seneca making his way down pit road.
Great battle for 6th on back. Awesome cluster there, and continue to run 2 and 3 wide in the turns. Brett Bell is 6th. Joe Knott is 7th. Dave Sensiba is 8th. 9th is Tony Raines on the outside of the red 18 of Mike Miller.
That's that group you're looking at right there as we take a peek from the leader's spot back. There's Hanson in the middle, and there's that Wonder Bar number 56 of Brett Bell, who's got a handful of cars right behind him. Look at Sensiba getting to the inside of Joe Knott. Sensiba in the white number 4. Knott in the 48, who pitted early on, had problems to fought his way back into the middle of this. Tony Raines currently in 9th. Mike Miller in the middle of it, and Rick Miller right behind him in the 31. Brett Bell, former winner of the Copper World, stock car portion of the Copper World, has moved his entire racing operation from Vacaville, California, back here to the Indiana area. Grew up as a good friend of Jeff Gordon and is actually in the Pittsburgh area utilizing old shops of Jeff's, and is continuing his racing career back here, and has gone through quite a few actually personnel changes on the team in the 56, but now Brett seems to be getting things in order as Tony Raines continues to pound on the backside of Joey Knott here. It looks like Mike Miller's going to come right with him.
You have to wonder if Howie Little's on the headset to Tony Raines saying, be patient. We still have 46 laps remaining. Be patient. Let's see if Knott can use up those tires. He knows Mike Miller is fast right behind, so if he does make a move, as he's trying to do right here on the bottom of 2, boy, he couldn't have played it out better in a Hollywood script. He comes down the backstretch. See if Mike Miller goes with him.
Every pass tonight has been completed coming out of turn number 2 of major significance. You have to work your way around the rest of this 0.6 of a mile racetrack to set yourself up for a good run off of 2. You can see Mike Miller's trying to get the run off from Raines, and Raines trying to capitalize on the backside of Joe Knott. It's not an easy thing to do.
The way Joe Knott's been running, he's running extremely smooth this season. He has a 5th, a 2nd place, and a 2nd place finish this season. Does the Valvoline Ford driver, and he's got his hands full again. As we mentioned, he's in 7th position, right ahead of Tony Raines. Raines continues to run the clean burn colors, and each and every race they try to bring in a clean burn sponsor from the area. Even
there's that battle for 2nd place now going on between Rick Beebe in the 23 and Buddy Schrock in car 35. Dennis Berry continues to lap around in the bottom groove in car number 5 after a long night. That was the car that won the championship last year for Brian Refner. Not a good night for that team tonight. Dave Burns more out of the pits.
Well, here's what's happening up front. We have talked to Mike Chaffee, the crew chief for Kevin Sawinski. They came in early. They changed right side tires and made a little bit of a stagger adjustment. He says it's a little bit tight coming off the turns, but they're staying out. Right behind him in second place, Rick Beebe's pit reports that the only problem they're having is dirty fuel, and so his restarts are a bit sluggish. And as Buddy Schrock begins to get passed by Scott Hansen, his brother Donnie Schrock said, we're going to stay out and we'll see what happens.
Hansen has changed tires 4 times. He's got 4 different sets of right side and left side tires he's put on that car. Sawinski and Rick Beebe have pitted once on lap 55 under caution. They are now showing tire wear as Hansen has really made his way through the field. He's running with Brett Bell 10, 15 laps ago. He's now caught the leaders.
I think the bigger thing about Hansen was he made that last pass on the outside.
Buddy Schrock is 9. This is his 9th ASA race, so he knows his way around this track. His highest finish was 9th back in 1983, so we'll see if he can put that auto value Chevrolet back in the top 3. It'll be his highest finish in ASA in quite some time, if not his highest ever.
And Hansen made that pass over in turns 3 and 4. Somebody's going to have to give Hansen the guide to racing here at IRB. Everything's supposed to happen in turn 2. What's he doing on the outside in 3 and 4?
Hansen qualified second quick to Mike Eddy. Off the trailer, Scott Hansen has been fast in his Wisconsin Aviation Chevrolet. Here's your leader.
There's Sawinski working through lap traffic. And behind him,
Kevin Sawinski, when he came here to test on May 19th, he said, I was scared to death of this racetrack. It took me 20 laps to figure out I needed to get near the wall. Didn't want to get up that high. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Yellow 23, Rick Beebe, his first race in the Dan Hodges Chevrolet.
Gary St. Amant right there in the orange and black, number 7, the Winsport Thunderbird, doing exactly what he needs to do to win this championship this year, and that is get in the middle of the top 10 and score points each and every week. And right now, Gary is having a great run inside the top 10. Actually, at about 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
There's the battle again, second, third, and fourth. Now Buddy Schrock trying to look to the inside of Hansen. Yellow 23 is Rick Beebe. He's in second.
That's Pinsino in the 93 who's had trouble keeping it straight tonight, running on the bottom groove as the lap traffic. Look at this freight train.
Buddy Schrock had to come into this race through the qualifying event. He was quick in practice. He said, I made a mistake in qualifying, had to come in through the last chance event. He finished third or fourth in that, and now look at him run. He's got more laps in this racetrack under green than anyone this weekend.
Again, we'll take a look to the inside of Beebe. That time, it looks like he's going to get him. Hard to tell if there was any contact there. Schrock tries to do something with Beebe, but not doing it. Look at Hansen start to pull away already.
This is lap 166. 26 laps ago, Scott Hansen was in 8th, running behind Bob Seneker. Seneker has since slowed off the pace. But Hansen now has the fishing rod out, trying to reel in the Brown & Sharp Metrology #1 of Kevin Sawinski of Mosinee, Michigan.
Well, we heard that there was a problem with the engine in the number 84 of Bob Seneker. Dave, is that true?
Well, we'll ask Bob here. Bob, we heard reported motor troubles. What actually happened in the car today?
You're talking to me? I can't hear you. I can't hear that.
Was it motor problems that put you out today?
Yeah, I missed the shift on the restart. Clean automotive Ford was running pretty good, but I don't think I was going to go to the front, but that's a real shame I have. I think we've been a push rod or something.
What did break in the motor, Bob?
I think we broke a push rod.
All right, Seneker's out now. Having a pretty good year so far, Ralph. I think he's running 5th in points right now, until now.
Kind of unusual to hear about Bob Seneker missing a shift. And it's up night for some of the veterans. Seneker, Mike Eddy, we talked about would they be able to capitalize here at the City of Speed. And not so far. It looks like it's going to be one of the young lions that's going to get to taste the champagne in Victory Lane.
Glenn Allen Jr. also out early. He now rejoins the race. He's currently in last position on the scoring monitor, so he's trying to make some laps, get some more positions as a number of cars have dropped out since Glenn Allen's problems in the Simonton Window Chevrolet.
Gary St. Amant doing exactly what he needs to do. Continue to march up to the front. He currently runs in 4th position, trying to get around Rick Beebe.
Glenn Allen pulling into the infield as the leaders come by, so Glenn Allen just making it by start finish. pulls it in.
30 laps to go. And Hansen is all over the backside of Kevin Sawinski now, as the battle for the lead really begins to heat up. Now, the scary thing for Sawinski is, if you've been watching the race, you would think, well, he's going to try to pass me coming off of turn number 2. However, we've seen Hansen pass people on the outside of turn 3 and 4. So normally you would think all you'd have to do is defend the move coming off the 2, but not so with Scott Hansen.
Sawinski is a bona fide rookie in ASA. It's his first trip here at IRP, and once we get past this racetrack, we'll be okay.
Look at this battle for third. Buddy Schrock is going to get to capitalize on St. Amant trying to get around Beebe. Schrock has got the position, and he will probably take over fourth from St. Amant. Down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Schrock is just not able to put away St. Amant, and it looks like it's going to go away. Wow, he had a great opportunity to get away from St. Amant as St. Amant once again attacks the backside of Beebe. And look at the horsepower in that Ford. Not a problem that time as Gary St. Amant, the current points leader, takes over third, and you see Schrock get up into Beebe, but Rick is able to gather it back up. Sensima sits back behind him in the number 4. Oh, and there goes Schrock now. He'll try it again. The Chevys battling the bow ties down the backstretch. And Schrock finally gets around him. And now Sensima will make a move. I wonder if Beebe is starting to develop a problem.
The way his car's dropping back, you see the right front caliper on his car has glowing orange marks coming by. It's not sparking in any way, but you can see that the rotor is cherry red. He's been using up his brakes. Perhaps he cannot use the brake as efficiently as he wanted to. Plus, the turn speeds are down, and I think he was holding up St. Amant there momentarily.
And there's Tony Raines trying to battle his way back through as you look at Joe Nod and Brett Bell just in front of him. And Raines is going to go to the inside of Brett Bell to take a spot as Mike Miller comes with him. That's for 7. As back up front, things continue to sail along for Kevin Sawinski.
Brett Bell just hit the wall in turn 3.
Brett Bell hits the wall hard. We talked about it early on, how Brett Bell has had nothing, absolutely nothing but horrendous luck in his ASA career. Once again, running well here tonight in the Wonder Bar back entry. And at the end, less than 30 laps to go, Brett Bell takes the concrete at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
One of the toughest things about hemorrhoids is admitting you've got them. But doctors will tell you anyone can get hemorrhoids, even when you're healthy and in shape. And doctors will recommend Preparation H, specifically by name. It's formulated to reduce swelling, and Preparation H helps relieve itching, irritation, and even painful burning. First, you've got to admit you have them. The rest is easy. Just get Preparation H. More people trust doctor-recommended Preparation H.
Last year, 26 cars rolled out ahead of Terry Labonte. 30 laps later, the Iceman cracked the top 10 and never looked back. With 10 laps left, Hendrick Motorsports teammate Jeff Gordon looked unstoppable. As Gordon missed the shift, Labonte charged to the front and held on to take his 15th Winston Cup victory. From Pocono Speedway, it's the UAW GM Teamwork 500, presented by Promotion Engine Treatment. Tomorrow at 1 noon Central on TNN Motorsports.
Crowd enjoying a tremendous Saturday night of racing here in central Indiana. An absolutely gorgeous evening. Is everybody enjoying the great AC-Delco Challenge Series action from IRP. And Brad Loney dives back into the pit stage.
Well, Ralph, I don't know if he's going to have time to come back up through the field like he wants to. But you remember they pitted a short time ago. They took on left side tires. They were hoping for another quick yellow to put on right side tire and to have 4 fresh to go till the end. That yellow came out when Brett Bell spun, and Brad Loney has 4 new Goodyear Eagles.
take a look at the replay of what happened to the Wonder Bar entry of Brett Bell, the red number 56, the third car on your screen.
Running the high line right behind Mike Miller. Mike and Tony Raines have made their way just by. Looks like he got a bit sideways.
He got a little helping hand from Yale Conley. Well, Yale, you had nothing to do with Dennis Lampman, but Yale, you had a lot to do with that one. So the Wonder Bar machine of Brett Bell, once again, on the hook. Picture he would like to change. Kevin Sawinski likes the picture out front. He wants to stay there. See if he can when we come back to Indianapolis.
You like action? Do you crave excitement? Then listen up.
TNN Motorsports and Miller present the Win with a Driver sweepstakes year 2. We're bringing it back for repeat performance. Enter today and you can win a trip for 2 to one of these live Winston Cup races. You'll also get spending money, a complimentary team jacket, a tour of the Miller team's rig and pit, meet Rusty Wallace, and more.
Hey, cool.
And if Rusty wins the race, you get $5,000. If he finishes, you pocket a cool grand.
You feeling lucky?
To enter, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your entries.
Get your entry in by August 16th, then watch Race Day on TNN August 25th to find out if you're going to the MBNA 500. Remember, if you don't win this time, your entry is eligible for the next drawing.
Enter now.
This sweepstakes is brought to you by Split Fire Spark Plugs and 104 Plus Octane Boost.
Coming up on the next NHRA Today, the quickest drag racer in history, we'll see his run from Columbus, and pro biker Reggie Showers talks about the childhood injuries that could have ended it all. NHRA Today, Sunday at 11 on TNN Motorsports.
Hi, I'm Tricia Springer, and we're here for the Prime Star Free Preview, featuring Stars, Encore, Westerns, and the Mystery Channel. Today and all weekend, we'll bring you the best in first-run films, as well as some timeless classics, all in Prime Star's digital picture and sound. Stars, a better movie channel with the most exclusive first-run theatrical movies in prime time. This free preview weekend, be sure to catch Star's exclusive presentation of Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks. Along with a great lineup of movies, Stars and Prime Star are going to send a lucky family of 4 on an all-expense-paid vacation to the Kennedy Space Center. We'll also give them a Sony camcorder to record the trip. To enter, just send us a postcard with your name, address, and phone number on it to this address. The Prime Star Free Preview, featuring Stars, Encore, Westerns, and the Mystery Channel. You won't want to miss a minute. Tonight at 8 Eastern, don't miss Casper, only on Stars.
We went to green, and Scott Hansen just forced his way past Kevin Sawinski to take the lead with about 15 laps to go here at the Speedway ASA 200 at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Here's a look at the replay for the pass for the lead as now Buddy Schrock starts to work Sawinski.
This is after taking the green flag. It's entering turn number 3. Hansen setting up Sawinski. Very clean racing to this point. They'll stay even. Look at this, down the front stretch. Sawinski trying to pull ahead. Now Hansen gets way up there and says, Kevin, I got to go.
Hansen did a great job of sliding through. There's Buddy Schrock. You can see him trying to get to the inside of Sawinski, and Sensible right there. That's Rick Beebe, Tony Raines. That is a battle for 5th. Mike Miller in the middle of that, and so is Gary St. Amant in the 7 car. Now that wins number 7 was way up in the middle of the top 5, and he had big problems on the restart and fell way back.
Lost 4 positions. That's a battle for 6th. Stand correct to Rick Beebe, 6th. Tony Raines trying to get that 6th spot away, 7th. 8th is Mike Miller in the car cop Pontiac. 9th is St. Amant. He was running at 6th prior to that restart.
Well, Dave Burns has more on the Gary St. Amant story.
Well, they couldn't be more devastated than they are down here in the Wynn's pit. They have a carburetor problem that they have been chasing all year long. The last thing that they wanted tonight was another restart. They got it, and Gary St. Amant fell all the way back because of a bad carburetor. He's now back up to speed, but he's got a long way to go to get back where he was.
You're exactly right, Dave, and not enough time with about 11 laps on the clock to work past all these guys is going to be incredibly difficult. Look at Reigns fighting on the bottom of that Howie let-out chassis. That's the battle for 7th as Reigns gets to the inside of Beebe.
Reigns is still 7th, trying to chase. Look at that.
And Mike Miller, the 18, is just nosing down enough not to give Gary St. Amant any room. And look at Beebe's 23 start fishtailing around. The rear end dancing out on Tony Reigns. Well, these tires have had some laps on them with 9 laps of racing to go here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Scott Hansen continues to lead, and you're watching the battle for 7th, and what a fight it is.
Beebe is in 6th, Reigns in 7th, Mike Miller in 8th. Nowhere to go for Miller as they continue side by side. Now it might be an advantage on the outside line. And it's your Chevrolet.
And it just keeps continually changing as to who has the advantage of that current second. Brad Loney now starting to close into the 33. He'll try to get to the inside of St. Amant for a spot.
Loney came in for fresh tires on lap 179, so he's got the freshest meat under him. We'll see if the Bun-Saver car can advance.
Conley is a lap down to the 3. He's out of it. Rick Miller's had a pretty good night in car 31. He is in this fight.
Ninth and 10th now. 9th and 10th is the battle for Brad Loney. At the back of the screen, you can see 3 wide racing off of turn 4.
They're starting to beat and bang a little bit in there, and I'm not sure it's necessarily intentional. So Conley is now on the lead lap, we're told. So the Doc has fought his way back after a wild night of racing. He currently runs at 11th. And I think a lot of these guys have used up these tires so much that they're racing so hard, the cars are just naturally slipping and sliding, and they're getting into each other. But a tip of the hat to these drivers for their ability to hang on in such close quarters.
Scott Hansen has checked out on these guys. He's got a straightaway lead over Kevin Sawinski with a handful of laps remaining. This again is the battle for 6th.
And it is by far the best battle on the racetrack. And if anybody makes a mistake by a half an inch, somebody running at about 15th, like that just about happened between Brad Loney and Gary St. Amant, somebody at about 18th is going to end up 5th. Because we're going to take out a handful of cars if we get these guys sideways. Look at Reigns now really starting to lean on Mike Miller as Miller gets past. And now Miller goes after Rick Beebe. Mike Miller sliding it through turn 4.
In the 200 lapper at Columbus Motor Speedway, Mike Miller made up 3 positions in the final 10 laps. He's now made 2 position changes in this last circuit.
What a great bit of driving by Mike Miller. With just a couple of laps to go, Miller picks up 3 spots. And now Gary St. Amant's going to try to pick up something, but you got to see the rear end just get lifted a hair by Loney. 2 to go. Scott Hansen has it well in hand as far as the victory goes. It will be his 2nd of the season as the white flag comes out, his 2nd in a row. This battle continues to rage on, and it will have tremendous implications on the points championship. A lot of loose race cars. There's Hansen coming down the backstretch for the final time. Scott Hansen will look to move heavily up into the points, maybe take over the points lead before the night is over. Scott Hansen, the winner at Toledo, wins again in IRP. Now we're going to settle this one. Reigns and Beebe nose to tail, and St. Amant gets loose. Reigns, and we go sideways with Loney. As they come across the line, there is contact. Loney is in the wall. Damage to the 3 of Conley. Damage to the 7, the Wings Thunderbird of St. Amant. So this one finishes just the way it started, with carnage on the racetrack.
Unbelievable finish.
200 miles of absolutely outrageous Saturday night stock car racing here by the AC-Delco Challenge Series at IRP. So Scott Hansen survives the battle carnage to get the win at Indianapolis Raceway Park, and Dave Burns is with his crew chief, Lynn Miller.
Well, Lynn, I guess you're kind of glad you weren't a few cars back there at the end of this thing. Scott did a fantastic job there to pull away.
He did a super job. The car was bad. Still had the rubber coming off.
Look at
Still had the rotor. She was vibrating pretty bad at the end. He said, it's loose and shaking like a leaf. He says, but I think I can do it. I'm glad he did.
What was his advantage then, the motor?
I think the motor and just his driving skill. Did a real good job.
All right, we're going to let Lynn go over and join the rest of the crew. They were jubilant after Scott Hansen's second win.
All right, Dave, thanks. And you saw Gary St. Amont's car come limping down pit road. There's Brad Loney crawling out of the car over in turn number 1. As they came across the line, everybody getting together, all of that close racing, finally unleashing the bomb. We're going to step...
If you settle for a remanufactured engine without a brand name, be sure you've got a pair of name brand shoes. AC-Delco engines, the national brand name with the nationwide warranty. Call for a location near you. Of course, if you come in on foot, we'll understand.
A lot of folks in Johnson City, Tennessee will tell you when you need a part for your car, go to AutoZone. The parts are top quality, the prices are low, and the people are helpful, like Gary Jennings. You see, when it comes to auto parts, folks will tell you Gary really knows his stuff. Oh, sure, they know there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Gary, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Hey, what do I know? Thought I could live without you, but what do I know?
Ricochet, the debut album, featuring What Do I Know and Daddy's Money.
Think about it. We depend on our vehicles, yet most people know surprisingly little about car care. Well, get ready for Road Ready, the show that'll help you ensure your vehicle gets the kind of care and attention it needs. Join Mike Anson and Tricia Hessinger to see just how easy it is to tackle routine maintenance and small repairs. And be confident the job's done right. So get ready. Road Ready. Tomorrow, 12:30 p.m., 11:30 Central on TNN Motorsports.
The AC-Delco Challenge Series presenting the Speedway Starvin Marvin ASA 200 on TNN has been brought to you in part by Win Oil Company, makers of quality automotive car care products. Remember, when it wins, it works. And by your GM Goodwrench service dealer. We want your business. There is Brad Loney's car coming in on the back of one of the wreckers, and got to tell you, Brad Loney and Gary St. Amant both came out of the cars and went looking for each other. They had different views on how that last lap came apart. Scott Hansen, meanwhile, could care less. He found victory lane, didn't he, Dave?
Well, he sure did. He's wearing several hats now, but he's also wearing the winner's cap. Scott pulling away at the end there. Looks like he had him covered, but you had a vibration going on in the car.
Early on, you know, when Mike had his wreck, I jumped on the brakes pretty hard, and I think I broke a rotor or warped one real bad, and the thing shook so bad, I had to get the car just perfect so I could run the thing without brakes. And the crew, I mean, I just can't say enough for these guys. I mean, I don't know how many tires we changed. They took it off. They checked everything. They won this race for me.
Now, Scott, what was the difference with the problems you were having? Lynn Miller thought that maybe it was the motor. Was the motor just that much stronger, that much more exceptional than anybody else's?
No, the motor run real good. You know, Kevin's got the same motor. He runs good. Mike Eddy had an exceptional car, man. I hated to see that because he was the car I was going to race the way the race started out, you know. And, you know, him and I got a lot of racing to go this year. And, you know, I'll take it. Like I said, Avco, Penske shocks, you know, they helped me out. Goodyear, they're doing a great job, you know, picking these tires out. So, you know, I just can't say enough for everybody that helped me here.
Scott, winning it for Ray Day was your motivator at Toledo. What was your motivator tonight?
It's my birthday tomorrow, or Monday, I'm sorry. I don't even know how old I am.
We're still all waiting to hear what the number is, Scott.
31. I'm starting over a couple of years. 41.
Scott Hansen fessing up in victory lane.
I was going to say that's going to be about the 10th anniversary of his 31st birthday.
Yeah. His crew bought him a new helmet for his birthday. He wore it to Victory Lane tonight.
And it's definitely one he will be wearing again. There is Brad Loney, driver of the Button Saver number 33. Frustrated with the finish between him and Gary St. Amant. And it all started back here on the back straightaway. Watch the 7 and the 33.
White flag lap. Tony Raines hanging on for dear life. His tires are used up. Rick Beebe's tires are used up. Gary St. Amant was trying to make his way through the field. Lost 4 spots on the restart.
It looks like Gary lifted a little bit. Did you see the flame belch out from behind the car? He lifted because I think he was running up onto the backside of Beebe, who probably lifted a little bit because the tires were used.
St. Amant was looking to the middle.
Yeah, and then it just
Loney was
chain
there.
reaction from there.
As they come across the line, though, the drag race ends. That's actually coming down for the white flag, so it's been a couple laps in battle here. We continue watching here again. This is Raines and Beebe for 7th. 8th and 9th are Loney and St. Amant.
Here they'll start banging into each other a little bit, I think.
St. Amant hard into turn number 3, looking for a good exit off the turn. Loney down in the bottom. Loney drifts a little high there.
There was the first bit of contact right there, but there was no lift that time, no flame belching out.
St. Amant trying to drag race him down to the line.
Hard to tell if Gary turned into him or if Brad drifted up into him.
Coming off the corner, St. Amant was full throttle. If the car was not square when he punched the gas, that might have caused a little bit of wheel spin. We'll never know.
Well, he should have been in the throttle about the middle of the turn, and here is Gary and Brad starting to discuss things. Crew standing there, that's Gary's dad in the middle of it, listening. It is a pretty heated discussion between two of the hardest chargers on the series. Something tells me they didn't come to a mutual agreement in that conversation either. Now stay with us. We're coming back to IRP for a little bit more.
This is the story of the man in black, and the Goodwrench team keeps his car on track. You know their secret's consistency. It's all in the list. And if it takes all night, they'll get it done right. Turn to your GM Goodwrench service team for consistency and attention to detail. Their tools, training, equipment, and genuine GM parts let you run with the winners. To build the perfect ride, use a checklist as your guide. And always keep the customer satisfied.
My brakes are gone. Any chance I could get that fixed in a couple of hours?
Tell you what, leave it here. I'll see what I can do. Check in periodically.
I was wondering, how's my car coming?
I have 3 of my best guys on it right now.
With Pep Boys 12 service bays and expert technicians, you're in and out fast. 26,000 items, tires, and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Race fans, enter the Pocono Raceway Promotion Engine Treatment Fantasy Sweepstakes and have a chance to win trips for 2 to the July 21st Miller 500 at Pocono, the August 3rd Brickyard 400, and the 1997 Daytona 500, plus $5,000 in cash. To enter the sweepstakes and receive free Promotion Engine Treatment literature, call toll-free 1-800-800-0987 or send your name, address, and phone number on a 3x5 piece of paper to this address. For a complete set of rules and a free Pocono Raceway ticket brochure, call 1-800-RACEWAY.
It's a great time to be silver because you're over 50 and you haven't lost your edge. Now there's a Centrum made just for you. Centrum Silver for your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver. It's a great time to be silver.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think?
Original and cooling blue.
By Menon.
The American Speed Association. It's a different breed of racing. Total determination unleashed on cutting-edge racing vehicles. It takes metal, nerve, with no room for let-up. It's a convergence of contenders, all vying for just one thing, to win. The ASA AC-Delco Challenge Series Kansas City Pontiac Dealers Pontiac Excitement 300. Saturday, June 29th at 9 p.m. 8 Central on TNN Motorsports.
Activities are going on down in Victory Lane.
Say hi,
How would
Brad.
you like to really be part of the race team? Well, Racing Electronics, the official communications equipment supplier to the American Speed Association, is giving away a Unit and Bearcat scanner along with a one-year Racers Frequency membership on each ASA telecast here on TNN. To enter this drawing, send your name and address on a postcard to Racing Electronics, P.O. Box 26792, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28221. Now, this week's winner is Timothy Roush from Miamisburg, Ohio. Congratulations, Timothy. Enjoy your scanner. It's on its way. Now, Kevin Sawinski, making his first visit to Indianapolis Raceway Park, was a little scared coming into this place, found it a little intimidating, but I think he'll have a better view of it now, don't you think, Dave?
Well, Ralph, the neat thing that's happening with Kevin, with all the controversy going on here with the finish back in the pack, a lot of people I see coming up to Kevin who he probably doesn't even know they were fans and saying, man, I really wanted you to win this thing. I think you won a lot of people's hearts tonight.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people here at IRP come down afterwards and congratulate us. And I got to thank IRP. They got a fantastic facility. The stands are great for watching races. I can't say enough about our crew. We short-stopped early in the race, and they got the Coleman Racing Products, Brown and Sharp, Monte Carlo out early. And what can we say? We ran away for a while until Scott broke through the pack. And one of them deals, but we're happy with the finish.
Now, this gives you a great opportunity, Kevin, with Landis falling out early for you to take over the lead in the rookie points. We don't know that yet, but it's going to be a dogfight all year, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Jack's running strong, and you got to expect Dennis Berry to come on. It's going to be a good three-way battle, I figure, right till the end of the year. So we're not going to, look ahead too far. We're concentrating on good finishes and just see where it lands,
Kevin Sawinski moving closer to a win. He was second tonight.
Sawinski's crew chief, Mike Chaffee, made the call to pit in the very first pit stall off the racetrack. There's a 50-mile-an-hour pit lane speed limit. They came in, they did that pit stop on lap 55. He went by the leaders as they were jostling for their pit spots. Sawinski was motoring on by after changing his two tires. That gave him better track position. And as they mentioned, they got their deal together tonight and finished second.
Well, the fans are getting the opportunity to mingle down inside now with the drivers and get some last-minute autographs and check things out. There's a look at the top 10. Scott Hansen is your winner. Gary St. Amant came into the event as the points leader. He goes home with a 10th place finish. We're coming back to IRP.
Now, for your home and shop, one amazing blade that cuts through practically anything. This is new Multi-Disc. It's safe, it won't break or shatter. It's amazingly flexible. It will never bind or kick back your work. Multi-Disc cuts through this rock-hard ash baseball bat. It cuts through copper and iron pipes. Plastic pipes are cut off clean. There's no melting. Multi-Disc is diamond and carbide throughout. As its powerful edge cuts, its sides grind a beautiful burr-free edge. It's one of the best grinding wheels on the market. It shapes tile, grinds away paint, rust, and debris in seconds. Call toll-free or send for Multi-Disc now and start saving hundreds of dollars on single-purpose blades and wheels. Multi-Disc does it all. Stop aggravating blade changes. Use the same Multi-Disc to do hundreds of jobs. It saves you time and money. Best of all, Multi-Disc will work on any rotary tool in your home or shop. Put it on your household drill and it cuts like magic. Grind off stripped screws or rusted bolts easily. Multi-Disc cuts like a blade and grinds like a wheel. No ordinary blade can do that, and you can use it on any rotary tool you own. Compare Multi-Disc with expensive steel blades for cutting Formica. Multi-Disc sands while it cuts so there's no chipped edges. Call or send now. Cut perfect angles and grind curves in ceramic tile. This versatile tool cuts picture frame perfect moldings and trim. Hobbyists love it for detailing plastics, metal, and wood. Now you can take care of your own car. Remove all that paint, rust, and excess body filler. Now, in this limited time offer, you get 2 Multi-Discs, a universal arbor to assure they'll fit all your rotary tools, and our unconditional money-back guarantee, all for only $12.98. Order now.
There's a look at the damage to the Bun Saver number 33 of Brad Loney as the crew tries to get it straightened out enough to get it up on the transporter. Dave?
Ralph, Brad says that is the worst he has ever been a rear clip. And Brad, We just need to know from your vantage point what happened out there.
Well, it's been a tough night all the way around for everybody passing, and the Bunsaver Flex Steel Furniture H&W Motor Express team did a great job. We got off on pit stops a little bit there and thought we could make it up in the end. We didn't get a quick yellow like we thought we would to get another set of tires bolted on till too close to the end. So it was a fight, but you know, we all raced really close, and everybody was doing their job at the end, and you know, I don't want to take anything away from anybody as far as close racing goes, but unfortunately things happen after the checkered once in a while that just aren't so pleasant, so hopefully we won't have that problem again in the future.
Well, Brad, were you that much faster than the other guys with somewhat newer tires, or were you equally matched, and was that any factor in what happened?
At the end there, I think I was considerably faster, but unfortunately when you're 2x2, if you can get 2x2 often enough here, and certainly late in the race, it makes it really difficult for anybody in front of you to go anywhere. So we were all kind of boxed in. I was just hoping for an extra position, and I think everybody else was too.
Well, Brad will be back for the next race at Berlin Raceway, and he'll be ready to roll.
The teams will actually move on to Grand Rapids, Michigan, for one of the shorter events on the schedule. It's
Port City Racing 200.
200 lapper up there.
Next Saturday night?
It's next Saturday night. That is not a part of our TNN schedule. As you look at Scott Hansen, his car is already in the Scales area. TNN's next event is the Kansas City Pontiac Dealers Pontiac Excitement 300, which comes from I-70 Speedway in Odessa, Missouri. You can see that live right here on TNN. Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Our winning move, well, that was Scott Hansen as well. Had a lot to do with him getting past Kevin Sawinski down in turn number 1 as we came back out of commercial break. Hansen forced his way around lap 185. He actually gets together with Sawinski and literally forced his way past to take the spot away, and then he pulled away from there.
He set him up a half a lap earlier, but you could tell going to turn 1, Hansen had more speed, carried it down to the win.
That is our winning move of the night. And a look at our full field rundown. You see Hansen, of course, the winner. Joe Knott, what a night he had, going from the beginning to the very back up to the front, and he'll end up finishing 4th. As you take a look at the rest of the full field rundown, you see Gary St. Amant fits in 10th position. Now that will have a big effect on the points. As you take a look at the full field rundown, we'll give you a quick rundown on the points here. Joe Knott will now be the points leader with 702 points. Gary St. Amant will slip to second with 681 in a bent-up race car for that last lap finish. Scott Hansen moves into third, 648 points. Dave Sensiba, Brad Loney round out in the top 5. Kevin Sawinski now sits as the leader in the rookie points, and he is 6th in the point standings. Mike Eddy, Tony Raines, Bob Seneker, and Mike Miller round out the top 10. Don't forget, our next ASA race live on TNN will be that Pontiac Excitement 300 from Odessa, Missouri, the high-banked half mile. Then we go on to Brad Loney's hometown at Cedar Rapids, Jennerstown, Pennsylvania, and La Crosse, Wisconsin, a first-time visit for the tour. For Dave Burns, my good buddy Jim Tretto up here in the booth, all the guys that help us out down in the truck, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from IRP.